Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a story about what, if neglected Naruto Rinne-Sharingan Highschool DxD. Before I start, please support for more amazing content, and do consider subscribing to my channel and share this video with your friends. This is written by killerssg and link in description and support writer. Let's start the video. Chapter 1. It has been 6 months since the end of the Fourth Great Shinobi War had ended with Kaguya being defeated, but at the cost of many deaths of shinobi from every village including one Sasuke Uchiha. Before he could die though, he transferred his half of the Sage of Six Paths to Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, who now had both halves along with nearly all the Biju. He had Kurama, Shikaku, Isabu, Son Goku, Koko, and Saiken sealed in him. Yujutoni had survived the extraction when Naruto saved her, so she still had Matatabi sealed in her. The same happened with Fu having Chome still, and Killer B had Gyuki. B decided to transfer half of him in Naruto for when B does die someday. The rest of Gyuki would follow to Naruto, as he only trusted him with his partner. After the war had ended, peace had been achieved. The world was in a state of rebuilding with long-term peace talks happening. No one was worried that Naruto, with all the power he had, would do anything to harm the other villages. But he didn't want to risk it, so he decided to leave Konoha to travel the elemental nations. He wasn't alone though. There were two people who had decided to join him. They were Yujuto and Fu. The three had been dating for 2 years now and didn't want him to travel alone, so they went with him, not wanting to be with their villages anymore with how they were treated. During their travels they visited many villages to learn from them. That is what had been going on until now. Naruto was wearing an orange haori like his dad's with black flames on the bottoms. Yujuto had on her typical clothes except she didn't have her Kumo headband along with Fu. Fu was the same with her villages and her clothes. She liked her clothes, not that Naruto was against what they had on. They looked great on them to him, and found them rather sexy. We visited so many villages and many had been able to rebuild from the war and improve relationships with the Great Five. Where should we go now? Yujuto asked. I'm not sure. We're not needed here anymore. What do you think, Naruto-kun? Fu asked her boyfriend. I might have an idea. With the Rinnegan I've learned to be able to open portals to different dimensions that we've seen, but there's one we can go to. It's one I've been to before where we can have new lives. I have friends there I haven't seen since I was 13. Naruto said to them. You've mentioned this before, but never went into detail about it. Do we need to know anything about it, Naruto-kun? Yujuto asked. Well, there are different factions there, with them being devils, angels, fallen angels, and yokai who can wield chakra, but the other groups use magic. The friends I have when I was there last time were all devils and are not what you'd expect them to look like. They're around our age too. I just hope they recognize me enough to not kill me. Naruto said. Both girls' sweat dropped at this. I'm sure it'll be fine, Naruto-kun. I'm excited to see what it's like. I think we should go, as we could make more friends. Fu said excitingly. What about you, Yujuto-chan? You okay with heading there? Naruto asked. I'm curious about it. Magic being real? That's a first, and to get away from this world would be refreshing. Yujuto said in agreement. Alright then. I just hope they remember me. Naruto said, activating his Rinne-Sharingan, opening a dark purple portal and then stepping through it. ORC clubroom. There are 6 people in the room, with one white-haired girl sitting on a couch eating sweets. Another one who was a blonde-haired young man who was leaning on the wall. A brown-haired boy of the same age, and a blonde-haired young woman who was wearing a nun's outfit who was small like the white-haired girl, sitting next to each other. These were Kaneko Tuju, a first-year student at Ko Academy, Kibo Yuto, a second-year, Issei Haidu, and Asia Argento. Finally, the last 2 individuals, with one being a black-haired young woman who was standing behind the other person. The other one was sitting at her desk with her hands intertwined in front of her face, looking stressed, and among other things. These 2 were Akeno Himejima, a third-year, and Rias Gremory, another third-year, also both known as the Great Ladies of Ko Academy. Well, we would like to welcome you, Asia, to the Occult Research Club. As a new devil you'll have responsibilities to do with also being a part of our family, Rias said with a smile. Thank you for taking me in. I'll do my best. Asia said shyly. This is great, Asia-chan. It'll be awesome having you with us. Issei said with a grin. It's too bad, we're missing one more, but I know it's wishful thinking. Rias said sadly. I know what you mean. We all miss him too, Bucho. It's not just you. Akeno said with Kiba and Kaneko nodding, but Issei and Asia were confused. Who are you guys talking about? Who's missing exactly? Issei asked. That's when a dark purple portal opened in the clubroom, getting the attention of everyone who got in their combat stances ready to fight when 3 people walk out of it. The first one they saw was a young woman with green minted hair with orange eyes. She was wearing a 2-piece white shirt and skirt with blue underarmor and closed-toed white shoes. The second woman had blonde hair and a braid going down her back and dark-colored eyes. She was wearing black umbu pants with purple amour up to her chest with a shirt under it. She wore fingerless gloves with bandages covering a part of her arms with her shuriken and kunai punch and sandals. The last person they recognized. He wore black umbu pants, combat boots, had a black shirt with the Uzumaki swirl on the back. He wore an orange short-sleeved haori with black flames on the bottom. What gave him away was the whisker marks on his cheeks, 3 on each side. And Naruto-kun? Rias asked, hoping it was her longtime friend along with the others except for Issei since he hadn't seen him before. Hey Rias-chan. It's been a long time. Naruto smiled. Naruto-san, /Kun. They shouted even if Kaniko's was not as loud and hugged him. When Akeno hugged him, she pushed her large chest into him, making him blush a little. Kaniko hugged his waist since he was much taller than her. Rias was glaring at Akeno and was doing the same as her friend. Kiba waited when Naruto hugged him like a brother would. It's great to see you guys again. It's been what, 3 years? Naruto asked. It has been a long time. How'd you get here? Why are you here? What's with your eyes? Who are those two with you? Rias asked quickly when she noticed the other two with him. Oh, sorry Rias-chan. This is Fu-chan and this is Yujito-chan. They're my partners and we came here to start a new life here. As for my eyes, well, their special eyes are combination of the Rinnegan and the Sharingan mixed together. I was able to open a portal to get here using them. Naruto answered. What do you mean partners? Rias and Akeno shouted, glaring at the two. Lucky bastard. Issei mumbled. It's a long story. Being the last Uzumaki in my village along with learning about who my dad was finally able to learn about, Naruto said, getting nods and curious looks from them. I'll explain later about him. Wait, so you three are staying here for good? Akeno asked, hopeful in her voice. Yes, we are. Naruto said with Fu and Yujito nodding. Butcho, who is he? Issei asked. Sorry Issei. This is Naruto Uzumaki. A shinobi from another dimension who came here accidentally 3 years ago. Rias said excitingly. It's nice to meet you all. My name is Fu. She introduced happily. My name is Yujito-ni, as Naruto-kun mentioned before. She followed with a nod. A different dimension? You gotta be kidding me. Issei shouted in disbelief. That's right. He knows a lot more than just us though. He knows my family quite well when he was last here. Rias said. That's right. How are they these days? Naruto asked. They're doing good for the most part. My brother would be excited to see you again after so long. We'll need to visit them sometime. Rias said. I can't believe that something like that is possible. It's already hard learning about the supernatural world as it is. Issei said. Believe me, perv. It's true what Bucho said. Kaniko said in a monotone voice. Oh, Kaniko-chan still have that attitude, I see. I brought something for you from my home. Naruto said with a grin. What did you bring exactly? Kaniko asked using the same monotone. Dango. Naruto simply said, pulling them out. The second they became visible to her, she snatched them and went to her spot and started eating them, remembering how they tasted before. It is great to have you back, Naruto-kun. It'll be great to catch up after all this time and to get to know you two as well. Rias said, looking at Fu and Yujito. Thank you for the welcome here. It certainly beats the treatment of my old village already. Yujito said with Fu nodding in agreement. What do you mean? Did your village not like you or something? Kiba asked. Guys. They're both like me. Naruto said, getting nods of understanding except for Issei and Asia. Right. I remember you telling us about how people like you have been treated not so good. You won't be treated like that here with us. We're all devils here and Naruto-kun knew this already, so I will share the same courtesy with you both. Rias said. Thank you, Rias. I hope we can be good friends. Fu said, excited to making more friends. It's getting late, and we've had a long day. We can talk more tomorrow. You okay with staying with me tonight, you three? Rias asked. Naruto looked at his girlfriends for a moment until they nodded at the invitation. We'll take the offer. Thank you, Rias-chan. Can we talk about school as well? Who would we need to talk to about joining? It was something we talked about before arriving here and thought it would be a good idea for us. Naruto said, when he heard a snort coming from Yujito. Oh please. You told us about it, but didn't want to go back to school until we had to basically force you to go. If we're gonna have new lives here, having an education like this would be a good idea, even if you want to write books and publish your godfather's books. Yujito said. Oh, you wound me, Yugi-chan. School is just torture and I can already get set up with my books getting published. You didn't have to be so mean about it. Naruto pouted, making everyone chuckle at the blonde. Let's head out for the night. We can continue this conversation tomorrow. Rias said, walking out with Kiba, Issei, Asia, Yujito, Fu, Kaniko, and Naruto following when Akeno grabbed his arm, getting his attention. Naruto looked back at Akeno, seeing a look that she wanted to talk about something. He nodded and stayed when everyone else left. They just stood there for a minute when Akeno launched herself at him into his chest, crying tears of joy. Sure, it's okay, Akeno-chan. I've missed you a lot, you know. Naruto said, hugging her tightly. I've missed you so much, Naruto-kun. We've missed having you here with us. Akeno said, mumbling something else that he couldn't quite hear. What was that? Could you say that again? Naruto asked. I said, especially me. I miss your smile, hyperactive attitude, your kindness, just everything about you. Akeno said, showing her true self. I miss you and the others just as much. It was hard leaving everyone, but I had to go back. I was needed there, and I had promises to keep, as you know I never break them. I'm back now though, and I'm not going anywhere for a long time. That's a promise. Naruto smiled at her. Akeno had calmed down enough to just sniffling when she looked up at him at his blue eyes and pulled him into a passionate kiss, one that he wasn't expecting. Naruto was shocked at the action at first, but quickly got over it and kissed her back. They explored each other's mouths with their tongues, with them roaming each other's bodies, enjoying the feeling that they were experiencing. They separated to catch some breath and leaned their foreheads against each other. That was nice, Naruto-kun. I'd been wanting to do that for a long time. I hope you know what this means for me. Akeno said. I do, Akeno-chan. I wasn't expecting it, but I won't say no, as I had developed some feelings for you as well as Rias-chan, Kaneko-chan, Sona-chan and some others while I was here, but I didn't act on them because I was focused on going back to the elemental nations. Naruto said sadly at the guilt of not returning their feelings when he was last here. I understand, Naruto-kun. I wouldn't have been able to be okay if you had confessed your feelings to us and left. That would have been torture, but now that you're back it doesn't matter anymore. I know they'll be happy to hear this, especially Sona. You two were rivals when it came to chess and she could relax a bit whenever you two were together. Akeno said, smiling a little. That's true. I'm back now and I hope you all will be okay with sharing me. I couldn't ever choose one without hurting the others, as I had grown to care for all of you equally. Naruto said, pulling her back into a hug with her, eagerly returning it. We should head out for the night ourselves. It's been quite the day and I'd rather not have to punish you for keeping me out too late, Ufufu. Akeno said, giggling into her hand, making Naruto's sweat drop at her immediate change of behavior. We should, but you should know that I can also give quite the punishment as well when it's required. Naruto smirked, seeing her bite her finger sensually as they left for the night. Rias's house. Naruto, Fu Yujito, and Rias had arrived at her house, and to say it was huge. It was a 2-story house with 12 bedrooms, 2 kitchens, 3 bathrooms, 2 living rooms, with what Rias called it a manga/anime room for her to watch or read her favorites. Fu and Yujito had gone to their rooms for the night, being tired from traveling as much as they did when they arrived in Rias's world, leaving Naruto and Rias alone in the living room. I'm glad you're back, Naruto-kun. Everyone missed you when you left, and I'm not just talking about my peerage and Sona, but my brother, Lady Seraphol, Graphia, my parents, and some of the other pillars like the Phoenixes and Sona's parents. Rias said. I missed them as well. I didn't realize that I would have been missed as much as you said. I'll need to pay them visits when we get the chance. How are your parents and brother doing? Naruto asked. They're doing fine. Aside from the marriage contract, they're all happy. Not much has changed for my parents, but my brother a couple years ago got a new rook and knight to add to his peerage. Actually, now I think about it, one of them looks like you and the other has your last name. Rias said, making Naruto curious and expression wide-eyed. He only looked like one person who he looked like a carbon copy of. Is it who I think they are? Naruto thought. See, can you tell me their names? Naruto asked slowly. Yes, I can. His rook's name is Kushina Uzumaki and his knight is Minato Namikaze. Rias said, seeing him go wide-eyed, and started tearing up. Rias thought she did something wrong with saying those names, but immediately stopped those thoughts when he hugged her with tears of joy. He just kept saying they're alive over and over again until he calmed down and pulled away from her with a smile that had always warmed her heart. You know those names, don't you? Rias asked. Naruto nodded rapidly, happy that his parents are alive. I do know them. They're my parents. Naruto said, making Rias's jaw drop to the ground at the new information. She got over her shock quickly. Your parents? You told us that they died in your world the night of your birth. Rias said, confused. I did say that, and they did die that night. I don't know how they're here, but I'm glad they're members of Suzuki's peerage. No one would be better suited for them more than your brother. What are they like? Naruto asked, wanting to learn more about them. Well, Minato-san is a teacher here at Ko Academy as a math teacher, with his wife Kushina-san is the girls' PE teacher. They're amazing people that I've gotten to know, but Kushina can be scary. Rias said, shivering at the times she's met her, remembering how she'd beat up anyone that talked badly about her or anyone she cared about. That's what I heard about her as well. That she has the temper that could scare the strongest individual. Naruto said, chuckling. I'd like to see them tomorrow if possible. Of course. We have school tomorrow, so we can do that along with getting you, Fu-chan, and Yujito-chan enrolled in school with us. I know Sona will be happy to see you again. Rias smiled at him. Thank you, Rias-chan. This means a lot to me and the girls. You still having problems with the chicken riser, I take it? Naruto asked with a smirk. Rias laughed at the nickname for the phoenix. Yeah. It's been getting pushed by him lately though for it to happen sooner, and I'm not sure what to do about it. I can't reincarnate you into a devil, and I'm not sure about Fu-chan and Yujito-chan if I can reincarnate them as well. Rias said sadly. It'll be okay, Rias-chan. We'll figure something out. I can always challenge him with Fu-chan and Yujito-chan to a match. You're right. None of us three can be reincarnated into devils with us being stronger than you. You know I'll always ally with your family. Isn't there anything I can do aside from challenging him? Naruto asked, worried. I'm not sure. We need to talk to Oniai-sama and my parents to know what can be done. Until then, challenging him is the only thing you can do, unless you can persuade them with being able to pass on your abilities and dojutsus to your children. That would get their attention, but again we need to discuss it with them. I know you were close to them aside from Riser. Rias said. Right. Well, it's getting late. Why don't we head to bed for the night as we have tomorrow to look forward to any? Naruto asked. That's true. I'm looking forward to having you three joining us in school. Good night, Naruto-kun. Rias kissed his cheek and walked off to her room. Good night, Rias-chan. Naruto said, going to his own room. Next day, Naruto had a lot of emotions running through him all morning as he was getting ready for the day. He was also nervous about meeting his parents, for the first time. He knew a lot about them with what he had been told by Kakashi and anyone else that knew them, but he was still nervous and wanted to make a good first impression. Naruto had been told that Sona was the student body president, and where she was along with her peerage, so he would see her first after he got his schedule. Naruto knocked on the door waiting when he heard someone say come in, one that Naruto recognized despite it being 4 years. He walked in to see Sona doing some paperwork. Hey Sona-chan. She heard someone say, looking up to see her longtime friend who had been gone for the last 4 years with wide eyes. Naruto-kun? Sona asked, lips trembling slightly. It's me, Sona-chan. Naruto said. That was all that she heard when she got up and hugged her friend tightly as if he would disappear if she let him go. What are you doing here? How'd you get back here? Sona asked quickly, happy to see him again. I'm here because I wanted to see you. It's been a long time and I couldn't wait to see you again. As for how I got here, that's a secret. He chuckled. Sona pouted at the lack of answer before she composed herself again. It's good to have you back here, Naruto-kun. I didn't think you'd be back with everything that was going on in your world. It doesn't explain why you aren't at your own world anymore? Did something happen? She asked, worried. No, it's fine. Nothing bad happened there. It was just time to leave and come back. Things happened and the world was at peace finally. It wasn't just me that came though, there are 2 others who came with me. They'll be enrolling here along with me as well. How have you been since I left? Naruto asked. That's great that you were able to achieve peace in your old home and to have you back. I miss you a lot, Naruto-kun. I look forward to having you here. But who are the other 2 that came with you? Sona asked curiously. Their names are Yujito-ni and Fu. They both wanted to come with me and to go somewhere new. Naruto said. That's great. I'll make sure to talk to them sometime today. I assume they know about the supernatural world, right? Sona asked. That's right. They were told about it before we got here and with how important it is to not make it known to the humans. Naruto said. Sona nodded, trusting Naruto in his judgment. Was there something else you wanted or was it just to see little old me? Sona asked with a smile. Actually, yes. Could you show me where Kushina Uzumaki's classroom is and Minato Namike's? I know it sounds strange, but it's important that I speak with them as soon as possible. He said. Sona looked at him curiously, but nodded and decided to show him. They walked in silence for the most part with small talk until they reached a room. They're both in here. Why did you want to see them? She asked. You'll see. Just watch please. He said. She nodded and opened the door, and what he saw made his heart beat much faster than before. There were 2 people there, with one being a male who had blonde hair with 2 bangs that was framing his face and blue eyes like Naruto. The woman had red hair that went down her back and violet eyes with a round face like him. These 2 were Minato Namike's and Kushina Uzumaki, his parents. And Mom? Naruto asked quietly, but they still heard it, with Sona shocked at what he said. Mom? Sona thought to herself. The 2 turned around and gasped when they saw the person. He looked nearly identical to Minato with a round face like Kushina though. What made them even more nervous was the familiar whisker marks on his cheeks. As Sochi? Kushina asked, trembling. Hi, Ka-san. Naruto said with a small smile when she jumped into him, embracing him. Kushina just cried at seeing her son after so many years of not seeing him again. Minato let the duo have a moment before he joined the hug to complete it. I've always wanted to meet you too. Naruto sobbed. We've wanted to see you again. We're so sorry for leaving you like that. Kushina cried. This went on for a few minutes until everyone had calmed down. Naruto? How did you get here? Also, how'd you know we taught here? Minato asked. Rias-chan told me. I got here yesterday by opening a portal using the My Rinnegan. I got it during the 4th Ninja War as a gift from a friend. A lot has changed since you've been gone. Naruto said. Our Rinnegan? Kushina stuttered out wide-eyed. Yes. I have the Rinnegan, not only that, but the Sharingan as well. They're mixed together making it the Rinne-Sharingan. Now I want to properly do introductions. Naruto turning towards Sona. Sona, these are my parents Minato Namike's and Kushina Uzumaki. Of course you already know who they, with them being quite rook and knight, huh? Naruto smirked. Both Minato and Kushina were surprised by this of him knowing about the supernatural world, with Sona already knowing, shaking her head at antics. Sochi. How do you know about that if you just got here yesterday? Kushina asked. It's simple. I've been here before. I was here 3 years ago. Naruto said. 3 years ago? How did that happen? How were you here and didn't come see us? Kushina asked, somewhat hurt of being so close to her son, but never met up. It was an accident during my training trip with Pervy Sage. I was working on my Fuinjutsu trying to make something new when I accidentally fell through a portal that I opened with it. I was here for about a year if I remember right. It was a year, right, Sona-chan? Naruto asked, turning towards her. That's right, Naruto-kun. You were here for a year when you went back to your old world. It's nice to meet the parents of Naruto-kun. He didn't know who his parents were when he was here. I can only speculate that he learned of you sometime after he went back. Sona said. That's right. Trust me, I had to fight with Bachan about it along with a certain fox who knew all along despite us being friends for years, Naruto said, grumbling to himself while Kurama just laughed at the memory. You mean the Kyuubi? It hasn't given you trouble, has it? Minato asked. Naruto glared at his father, flinching at the stare, but wondered why he was glaring at him. He's not in it too, San. He has a name as well. Kyuubi is more of a title, but it's his name to share. Try not to make him like an object or something because he has feelings like everyone else does, and the same goes for his siblings. Naruto said with a passion. Do you guys want to give them a scare? They'd never expect to have me holding more than just Kurama. It would be hilarious. Naruto asked the Biju. I'm interested to see my old host too. I wonder how they'd react as well to seeing the rest of you here. Kurama said. Bring them in so I can crush them. Shikaku yelled crazily. I'd like to meet your parents. Lucky 7 is okay with this. Chome agreed excitingly. Awesome. Okay. I'll bring them in and see what they do, but I'll do it at the end of the day along with Rias's peerage. I want to see the perv cry seeing you all, Naruto said with a grin, ending the link. How about we get together tonight? It could be our first family dinner? Naruto asked, hoping they'd be able to. I also want to introduce you to 2 special people who came with me. We'd love that, Sochi. We don't have any plans after school today aside from grading papers, that is. We haven't had a mission in a while from our king, so we should be okay. Kushina smiled at her son. That's true. Tonight us 3 are going out. Who are these 2 though? Minato asked with a raised eyebrow. You'll find out at dinner. Speaking of king, I need to visit Surzeka's and catch up with everyone. Naruto said casually with a smirk. Minato and Kushina went wide-eyed again with another surprise from their son, with Sona chuckling at his friend's parents' reactions. You know Surzeka's? Minato asked. Of course I do. I also know Sarah-chan, and the other Maos along with the Phoenix family, Grafia-chan, Lord and Lady Gremory, and Yasaka-chan. Wow, Sochi. You know quite a lot of important people. Kushina said, her jaw dropped on the ground. I do. When I was here, I got to know all of them personally, and they became like family to me. They helped me adjust to the world while I was figuring out how to get back to the elemental nations. I was closest to Rias-chan, Akeno-chan, Kaneko-chan, Kibakuin, Sarah-chan, Ravel-chan, and Yasaka-chan whenever I'd go visit to learn more about the Kitsun, since I have the Kyuubi sealed in me along with Sona-chan here. Naruto said, pointing at Sona at the end. He was fun to have here. He was missed a lot even if he pranked us from time to time. Sona mumbled that last part to herself, having been on the receiving end of them once or twice. I'm glad he was taken care of by you guys. Is there anything else we should know about, or are you done with surprises? Minato asked jokingly. No, there aren't any more for now. Naruto said with a grin, making Minato deflate, with Kushina chuckling and Sona shaking her with a smile at her friend. You should get to class, you two. School will be starting soon. Kushina said, pushing them out of the classroom. Alright. We'll see you later, Ka-san, Tu-san. Naruto said, leaving Minato and Kushina. Bye. Namike-san, Uzumaki-san. Sona respectively said. They walked through the halls in relative silence to get to their first class, not knowing what to talk about now. I miss you a lot, Sona-chan. I thought about you and everyone else all the time while I was gone. I hope you can forgive me for leaving. Naruto said with a sad smile. I know you had to go, but doesn't mean I had to like it back then. You're back though now, and that's what's important. Sona said, taking his hand in hers. Chapter 2, Ko Academy. Naruto and Sona were walking through the hallway showing him around, since he, Yujito, and Fu would need to get the paperwork to get enrolled done, so the 3 would spend the day getting them filled out, and getting to know Sona's peerage along with Yujito and Fu, getting to know Sona as well along with Rias and her peerage. Naruto would catch up a bit with Tsubaki since they had been good friends. Nothing exciting happened during the day, and now we find Naruto, Fu, Yujito, Kushina, Minato along with Rias, Sona and their peerages in the clubroom. Now that we're all here and that we have the time, I'd like to officially introduce my girlfriends, Yujito-ni, the Jinchuriki of the Nibi, and Fu, the Jinchuriki of the Nanabai. Naruto introduced. It's a pleasure to meet everyone. Naruto-kun has told us a lot about you. I hope to get along with you all. Yujito said, bowing her head slightly. Hello? As Naruto-kun said, I'm Fu and I hope to be friends with you all. Fu said cheerily, and for those that don't know me, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, the Jinchuriki of the Kyuubi no Kitsune, along with being the son of Minato Namikaze and Kushina Uzumaki. Naruto smirked, seeing the shocked expressions of everyone except for Minato, Kushina, Rias, Sona, Fu, and Yujito, since they knew already. That's so cool. But was this the only reason to bring us all here? Minato asked. Not at all, Tu-san. I want to show everyone something. Naruto said, holding his fist out. I need everyone to bump fists with me. Trust me, it's important to do so. I'm going to be introducing you to someone. Naruto said, smirking along with Yujito and Fu, making Minato and Kushina widen their eyes, knowing what he's meaning. Before they could say anything, everyone had bumped fists with him, wondering who this person was, with Sona being the most suspicious one, having an idea of who it is. Inside Mindscape, the group opened their eyes to see a plane that they've never seen before, with everything being dark. Anyone know where we are? Rias asked nervously. Not at all, Bucho. I'm wondering that myself as well, but I'm quite curious. Akeno said. You're in the Brat's Mindscape. A gruff voice said. The group turned around to see a gigantic fox that had orange fur with 9 tails swishing behind him, white tips at the end of the tails with rabbit-like ears. He was taller than majority of the mansions in the underworld. Oh Mao, what are you? Sona asked, trying not to sound intimidated, but was shaking a bit until she felt a hand on her shoulder. She turned around to see Naruto smiling at her comfortingly. What the hell? It's huge and terrifying. Issei screamed, trying not to pass out, and wet himself at the same time, but failed as he passed out. Ha 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 ha. That was great. It's been a long time since I was able to make someone faint with my presence. Kurama laughed. Good job, Kurama. Naruto said, turning to everyone. Everyone, this Kurama the QB no Kitsune. Naruto introduced before looking around. Alright everyone else, you can come out now. Naruto called out, confusing everyone. From the shadows showed the other Biju going form: Shikaku, who was a brown with blue accents raccoon with 1 tail, Matatabi, who was a blue fire 2-tailed cat with Yujito sitting on her head, Isabu, a 3-tailed turtle with 1 eye, Son Goku, a 4-tailed monkey, Koko, a 5-tailed dolphin with the body of a horse, Saiken, a 6-tailed slug, Chome, a 7-tailed beetle with Fu sitting on top of her head, and lastly Gyuki, an 8-tailed ox with 4 horns and the body of an octopus. These are the other Biju that came with us. As you can see, a lot happened in the elemental nations with them being here. The ones that Fu and Yujito are with are their Biju that are sealed in them. Everyone else is sealed in me, and half of Gyuki is with me and his other half is with his original host. Naruto explained, getting different reactions from the group in awe, fear, amazement from them. Kushina and Minato were cautious, knowing who they are. How was your seal able to hold more than the QB Sochi? Kushina asked. That would be due to the Sage of 6 Paths. He altered my seal to where I could hold all of them rather than just Kurama. Naruto said. What happened to their host though? Minato asked. That's a long story, which is the reason I had to go back to the elemental nations when I was here last time. A lot happened in the time you've been gone from that world, and none of it was good. Naruto said. That Master Uchiha gave the world a lot of trouble, and he's the one who killed all the hosts of the Jinchuriki. Kurama said, in anger of what he did to his siblings. That's true. He was a pain in the ass, especially being able to become intangible made things that much harder to fight him. He wasn't the real Madara Uchiha though, like he said he was. He's also the one who made my life a living hell. Naruto gritted his teeth in annoyance. What did he do exactly? Akeno asked, wanting to know about this person. A lot. He single-handedly started the 4th Shinobi World War, wanting to capture me, my friend Killer B, Fu-chan, and Yugi-chan. His goal was to collect all the Biju to recreate the 10 tails, but all of the Kages refused, not wanting to hand us over. He had extracted Shikaku, Isabu, Son Goku, Koko, and Saiken. Enough of all this for now. Let me introduce them to everyone, Naruto said, changing the subject to something more cheerful. Fine. For now. But I want to hear more about your life, Sochi, and everything that happened, and I mean everything. Kushina said, along with Rias, Akeno, Sona, and Kaneko, even if she was more monotoned about it, in a sweet smile that scared all the guys, making them sweat, but none more than Naruto. Oh, of course, Kaa-san. He stuttered out before looking over at the Biju, motioning for them to introduce themselves to the devils. I am Shikaku the Ichibi no Tanuki, Matatabi the Nibi, Isabu the Sanbai, Son Goku the Yambi, Koko the Gobi, Saiken the Rokubi, Chome the Nambai, Gyuki the Hachibi. And I am Kurama, the almighty QB no Kitsune, he announced, puffing his chest out in pride. Oh, shut up, Kurama! Naruto shouted. Shut up, brat! Kurama shouted, flicking Naruto, knocking him down. Yeah, whatever. Naruto said, getting up. Does anyone have any questions? Naruto asked, getting up. I do, Naruto-san. Do each of them have any special abilities? Asia asked, still scared of the towering Biju. They do. Each has their own abilities they can use. For example, Shikaku can use wind and sand, with Koko using steam-based abilities. Each has their own, but you'll have to find out in person. Naruto said, making everyone annoyed at the lack of answer. Steam? Sona asked. Yep. You should be able to imagine the kind of damage steam can really do. I haven't worked on it much, but I know how dangerous it is regardless. Naruto said, getting a nod from her. Does anyone else have any questions? Naruto asked. I got some interesting stories about the brat if you want to hear them. Kurama smirked. Naruto paled, knowing which stories he's referring to, and he'll never let those stories be told. You can tell them another time. For now we should head back out for now. Naruto said, getting nods from everyone. I still hate you, Yandere, remember that. Kurama growled out. Minato could only smile nervously, while others were wondering what that was about as they disappeared from sight. That certainly is an interesting group, wouldn't you say? Kurama asked. Indeed they are. There were a few of them that would be good mates for Naruto, and I can only hope he goes for them. Gyuki said, grinning. True. I've know which ones too from the interactions last time we were here, and now that Naruto is back, nothing is stopping him from telling them how he feels about them, Kurama said. What do you mean? Matatabi asked. When we were here before, Naruto had gained feelings for a number of them here, but never admitted his feelings to them since he knew we wouldn't be here for long, so he never said anything about it. But now he can, and I know they felt the same as well. One already made a move. Akeno, I believe her name is. Quite the woman she is, I'll admit. Sadist she is, but not bad, Kurama said, getting nods of understanding from the others. Outside of Mindscape, everyone opened their eyes to find themselves back in the clubroom, with them being in awe of seeing the Biju, and wondered if they'd be able to see them again, aside from a few who were terrified of them with how massive they were. Well, that was an experience, one that I don't think I'll be forgetting in my lifetime, Sona said, regaining her composure. I can agree with you on that one, Sona, but I'm wondering about one thing, Rias said, getting her and some others' attention. What would that be, Rias? Sona asked. Why were we in a sewer of sorts? She asked. I'm curious about that too now that I think about it, Akeno said, realizing it. Everyone looked at Naruto, seeing him not sure how to go about it. Well, the mindscape is something that is a reflection of the life you live. Mine wasn't the best growing up, and the same can be said for Yujito and Fu. Right now, though, I'm not feeling comfortable enough to talk about it, Naruto said with a sad smile. Everyone thought about what he said and wondered what their lives were like as Jinchurikis, aside from Kushina and Minato having ideas since they saw what it was like firsthand. They talked for the next hour about different things, with Naruto, Fu, and Yujito talking to Sona, Kushina, and Minato about getting them enrolled in the next day or two at the academy. Soon everyone left except for Naruto, Rias, Fu, Yujito, Akeno, Minato, and Kushina. Tomorrow's Saturday, right? Naruto asked. Kushina, Minato, Rias, Sona, and Akeno nodded. Yes, it is. Why do you ask? Akeno asked in curiosity. Well, I was hoping that one of you could take us to the underworld. I haven't been there in 3 years, and I'd like to visit everyone if it wouldn't be too much trouble, and introduce Fu-chan and Yudi-chan to them. Naruto asked. Not at all. I'd like to see the look on some of their faces when they find out we're your parents. Who are you wanting to visit though exactly? Kushina asked. Well, there's quite a few. Surzeka's, Grafia-chan, Sarah-chan, Rias's parents, and Sona's parents. Naruto listed off. Sarah-chan? Minato asked. Yep. You guys should know how she is. She wouldn't let me call her anything else except for that, and Leviathan. I also want to go to Kyoto and visit Yasaka-chan and Kunio. I made a lot of friends during my time here and have a lot of people to see. Naruto said. That's how she is after all. Though you know quite a lot of people as well. I forgot how many important people you met and got close to. Rias said. That, and I need to keep a promise I made to Sarah-chan before I left. Naruto said. What promise exactly, Naruto-kun? Fu asked. Don't you remember me telling you about it? I mean, the invitation would be extended to you too as well. Naruto said, looking at her and Yujito, getting nods from them. Oh right. That's not something that's easy to forget, but we'll have to find out. Yujito said with a nod. We'll have to talk to her about it when we see her. I'm sure she'd be excited even. Naruto said with a grin. Do you think one of you could take me there? He asked. Sure. I've been wanting to see Oniai-sama for a while anyway, but what promise did Seraphul-sama have you make? Rias asked. It's a secret. Naruto teased. Rias pouted at his response and stuck her tongue out. Era. Naruto-kun is such a tease. Maybe he should be punished to get the answers we want. Akeno put her hand to her cheek, blushing while thinking of all the things she would do to her boyfriend. Of course not, dear, but it's something you'll need to wait for. Naruto said, becoming nervous at his girlfriend. Dear? Rias and Kushina shouted. Era. Did you not know? Akeno asked hotly at her friend. No. When did this happen? Rias asked quickly. Sochi? What did Jiraiya do to my boy? You're seeing 3 girls now? Kushina smiled too sweetly. He didn't make me a pervert, Ka-san. I promise. Before I left Konoha I was put into the CRA, but when I did leave I couldn't bring myself to break up with one of them, as I care for both of them. As for me and Akeno-chan, we got together last night when we got back. We talked for a bit, and then she kissed me and we confessed our feelings. Naruto explained, hoping his mother doesn't beat him like she would to Jiraiya. Okay. I accept that, and I expect grandkids soon, as I want to be able to spoil them. Kushina grinned. Naruto, Fu, Yujito, and surprisingly Akeno blushed at the thought. Rias was surprised that Akeno would make her move so fast, and didn't want to fall behind. She walked up to him and pulled him into a soul-searing kiss, making everyone's eyes go wide at the unexpected action, with Kushina squealing at having another daughter-in-law. They pulled apart to gain some air, with Rias's blush matching her hair, and Naruto was sputtering. Afufa, so bold, Bucho. I never expected you to do something like this. Akeno teased. I should be saying that to you, Akeno, with getting to him last night. So bold of you. Rias teased back, making her giggle behind her hand. I can't let you two get ahead of me now, can I? Sona asked, surprising everyone when she pulled him into a deep kiss, slipping her tongue into his mouth when he reciprocated the action, using his hands to wander to her cheeks, squeezing them, eliciting a moan from her when they separated, a trail of saliva between them. Wow. Naruto said. Wow, Sona. Who would have guessed our student council president could do something like that? Rias asked with a gleam in her eyes. Shut up, she shouted. I couldn't let you two get ahead of me for Naruto-kun's attention, she said while blushing, nearly matching Rias's hair as she adjusted her glasses. Fu-chan, Yujito-chan. What do you think? Akeno asked. I'm fine with sharing him, she answered, making him sputter. But I want to make sure that you're wanting to be with him for the best of intentions, Yujito said in seriousness, narrowing her eyes at the three devils. We'd never hurt Naruto-kun intentionally. He's important to us and has helped us during his time here despite him being here a year only, Rias said with Akeno agreeing. He helped me learn to not hate my father and to not let my hate for him keep me from my potential, along with not being afraid to show what I am. He means everything to us and I'll do anything to make him happy, Akeno said with a smile. He even supported me for my dream of opening a raiding game school for the lower class devils when no one else would really, Sona said with a small smile. Minato and Kushina both smiled at their son with pride in being the kind of person that they wanted him to be. With that being said, we welcome you to the family. I just want grandbabies to spoil, Kushina squealed. Kushi-chan dear, perhaps we should let them finish school first before that happens? Minato chuckled nervously. Oh, we also have dinner as well tonight. Kushina remembered. That's right. Would you five like to join us if you don't have any plans already? Naruto asked his four girlfriends. Sure, yes, should be fun / I'd like that / thank you, they said. Let's go then, Naruto said, excited to spend time with everyone and for his parents to get to know Fu and Yujito more. Next day, the group had gone out for dinner, and they had a lot of fun. Kushina and Minato got know more about their son along with his two Jinchuriki girlfriends and how their lives were like. Rias, Sona, and Akeno were of the same mind in wanting to know how the last few years had been for the blonde. It took Kushina a while to warm up to Yujito because of her past affiliation with Kumo, but she got over it and found out that she liked her, but adored Fu with her bubbly and kind-hearted nature. Naruto had gone to tell how he had not only mastered the Hiraishin, but also completed the Rasengan using a few different elements for it, which made him proud of the accomplishment. After dinner, when Rias and Akeno left via teleportation circle, Naruto, Fu, and Yujito were offered to stay with them while they attended school, which they agreed to, wanting to get to know each other more. Now we find Rias, Sona, Minato, Kushina, Yujito, Fu, and Naruto in the living room finishing preparing to go to the underworld. Naruto left a shadow clone to go meet with the publisher to get Jiraiya's old books republished for some income, and decided not to tell his mother about it since she'd beat him senseless for it. Is everyone ready? We'll be getting there using a teleportation circle rather than taking the more scenic route, Rias said. I'm fine with that. I'm excited to see your brother, and the others again. It's been a few years after all. Especially Sarah-chan, Naruto said. Alright then. Let's go, Kushina said as everyone stepped into the magic circle, disappearing completely. Gremory Estates, it's good to be back here. I wonder how they're doing? Naruto asked as they approached the gate. Welcome back, Rias-sama. We didn't know you'd be visiting today, one of the guards said. Neither did I, however he wanted to visit them since he's back. Rias pointed at Naruto. Naruto-sama? Is that really you? He asked. It's me, alright. It's good to see you guys. What have I told you about honorifics with me? Still guarding at the gate, eh? We're here for a visit, if you could let us pass please, Naruto said with a smile. Of course, Naruto-sama, the guard said with a smirk. Naruto's eye starts twitching. Sighs. Some things never change. This is Fu-chan and Yujito-chan. I'm wanting to introduce them to everyone, Naruto said. They bow their heads and open the gate for them to pass. I miss the kid. Things are surely to be livelier now with him back, the first guard said. I agree. I'm curious to see how things will change with him back now as well, the other guard said in agreement. They walked into the castle to see that nothing has really changed inside, which made Naruto smile, knowing things were still the same. One of the maids noticed the group and went to greet them. Rias-sama. Welcome back. We weren't expecting a visit from you though, the maid said. I know. I'm here because this baka here wanted to visit everyone and thought I could come with him as well, along with Minato-sensei and Kushina-sensei as well, Rias said. The maid followed where she was pointing to, and she gasped when she saw Naruto. It's good to see you again, Naruto-sama. She bowed at him with a small smile. It's great to see you again. It's been too long since I was here, and I hope you and everyone else has been doing okay for yourselves. Naruto smiled back. I've been doing great. Not a lot has changed, and it's great to see you again. Shall I escort you to Surzak-sama? He's in a meeting with Lord Gremory, Lady Gremory, and Grafia-sama, she asked. If could please. I would appreciate that a lot, Naruto said, getting a nod from the maid. Of course. Follow me please, she said, escorting them to the meeting room. Naruto-kun. Who is that? Fu whispered. That would be Olivia. She's one of the maids here and was very kind to me during my time here despite not being a devil. All of the maids here are great people. The Gremory clan treats their servants and peerages like family more than servants, and whatnot. The same can be said for the Citri clan and the Phoenix clan, well, mostly with them anyway. Naruto explained, getting smiles from everyone. He's right. My family has always treated them like they were part of the family rather than just servants, and makes me proud to be a Gremry," Rias said in pride of her family. They arrived at the door with Olivia bowing to them and leaving to resume her duties. Knock knock. The door opened to reveal Rias, Minato, and Kushina with Naruto, Fu, and Yujito behind them concealing themselves. "Ria-tan. It's great to see you again. Why didn't you tell us you were coming to visit?" "Minato, Kushina, always a pleasure to see you. Is there something you three needed from us?" Surzekas asked, getting ready to hug his sister to death, but was kept there due to Grafia holding him down. "Not as Peresi. You have some visitors, but one who came back recently and wanted to see you all," Ria said, smiling wide in anticipation for their reaction. "Who is this person that wants to see me?" Surzekas asked curiously. "Not just you Oni-sama, but Tu-san, Ka-san, and Grafia-san as well," Rias corrected, getting them more confused about it. "Well, bring him in so we can meet him," Surzekas said. The three of them parted, and who came forward was someone who they didn't think they'd see again or for a very long time, making them gasp, but more Rias's mother Venelana and Grafia more than her husband and son. "Is that you, Naruto-kun?" Venelana asked quietly, but still loud enough for everyone to hear. He nodded as she got up and walked up to him. "It really is me, Ka-san. It's been a few years and I miss you a lot." Naruto smiled at them when Venelana brought him into a hug like a mother would to her child, shedding tears. "You've gotten taller and more handsome, young man. When did you get back?" she asked her surrogate son. 2 days ago actually, and I'm here permanently now," he said, ending the hug. Naruto walked over to her husband and offered his hand for a shake, which he accepted. "It's good to see you, Lord Gremry," he said. "You as well, Naruto-kun, but you know you can call me Xiaticus since you're like family here," Xiaticus said with a small smile. "I know, but it's still respectful regardless," Naruto said, then moving over to Grafia, who was looking wide-eyed at him with her mouth hung open. "Careful, Grafia-chan, or else you'll catch something with your mouth open like that," Naruto teased when Grafia closed her mouth and shook her head at him. "Welcome back, Naruto-sama," she said, getting her composure back, bowing slightly. "Now what I have always said about using sama with me. It doesn't fit me at all," he said with a smile at her, with her reciprocating it even if it was hard to see. "It wouldn't be proper of me to talk to you any other way though. Do try to remember that, Naruto-sama." She purred out that last part with her breath hitting his neck, making him shiver and blush. He looked over towards Surzekas with a smirk. "And finally we have Lucifer. How's it going, Surzekas?" Naruto asked. "Naruto-kun. It's great to see you again," Surzekas said, childishly hugging him. Grafia pulled his ear, making him yelp in pain. "You should act more of a Mao Surzekas-sama," she chastised. "But Grafia-san, I haven't seen him in years," he whined childishly. "You as well. Please let me introduce you to these two young women with me. This is Yujito Ni and Fuchan," Naruto introduced. "It's a pleasure to meet you, Lucifer-sama." Yujito bowed respectfully. "And you as well, Yujito-san," he replied. "Thank you for taking care of him while he was here." Fu bowed as well. "Such respectful young women you have here, Naruto-kun. You could learn a thing or two from them," Surzekas teased, with Grafia smirking slightly. "So mean, and here I came to visit and I'm getting picked on." He pouted, getting chuckles from everyone. Yujito and Fu smacked him in the back of the head for his behavior. Now Naruto-kun, don't be so disrespectful to them," Yujito teased/lectured. Naruto could only pout even more at this, but smiled at being able to reconnect with everyone. "I understand Ria's coming to bring them here, but did you and Kushina-san need something?" Surzek asked them. "We just wanted to spend time with our son and to see him get reacquainted with you and your family," Kushina said. "We only got to see him for the first time yesterday, and we couldn't be more grateful for everything you did for him," Kushina said, bowing. "It was our pleasure. He was wonderful to have with us and was helpful when we would need an extra hand," Venelana said with a smile. "That's my boy. I always knew he would be such a gentleman," Kushina teased. "We never had the chance to raise him when we ended up in this world because of, well, you all know what we went through," Minato said, getting nods from the Gremrys. "Of course. I remember you telling us how you got here and the situation leading up to it. Now though you're all here now, and it'll be great for you, I would imagine," Surzekas said. Xiaticus then looks at Naruto with a questioning look. "Have you gotten any stronger? You were always training constantly and looking into your seals to develop something to get you home. Learned anything new?" he asked. "I'd like to think I have. Most of which will be a surprise, but I have mastered all 5 basic elements to use with ease. Not only that, but I've learned many things that will surprise everyone. I also wanted to talk about something if possible," Naruto said with seriousness. Surzekas was caught off the guard by the sudden change in him, but nodded. "What is it you wanted to talk about, Naruto-kun?" Venelana asked. "The frying chicken. Is there any way I can challenge him to get him to agree? Could I fight in Rias's place?" he asked. "You could, but there's the chance he'll say no since he wouldn't gain anything out of it," Surzekas said. "Believe me, I know, but I have a solution for that along with something that Fu and Yujito mentioned to me even if I'm against it. I was going to offer my servitude to him, but Fu-chan and Yujito-chan thought it would be more tempting to offer themselves as well, which I am still against," Naruto said with narrowed eyes. You know as well as I do he would need more incentive to accept it, along with him wanting to bet his peerage if he had all of us wagered. Yujito mentioned, "You'd go so far for me like that?" "Why?" Rias asked, feeling warm about how much her boyfriend would go to keep her safe. "I'd go through war against Madara team again if it meant I could protect you, and trust me, he's a bastard to deal with." "The same can be said any of my friends and family," Naruto said with conviction. The girls felt their cheeks turning pink at the claim, but couldn't keep the smiles off their faces knowing he would keep his promises. "That's kind of Naruto-kun, but politically what could you offer if we can do this without challenging him? If you could offer something and we could bring it before the council." "I'd rather you marry our daughter rather than Riser," Zyodaka said. Naruto thinks about it for a few moments before he thinks of some things he could use. "Well, one thing is the possibility of activating these eyes," Naruto said, activating his Rinne-Sharingan eyes, seeing them change from his blue to purple with Sasuke's Sharingan design along with 7 tomos in them. They could feel the power coming from those eyes, but wonder what they are and what they can do. Those are impressive. "I can feel power radiating off of them. You easily are high-class devil in terms of power. But what are they exactly?" Sursakas asked. "These are a mixture of 2 different types of dojutsus called the Rinnegan and the Sharingan. The Rinnegan allows me to use all 5 basic elements for starters, along with one ability being able to manipulate gravity, such as repelling or pulling something or someone towards me. I can absorb ninjutsu, but not sure if the same applies to magic, but would need to test that out sometime. There are some others, but it'd take too long to explain them all. The Sharingan allows me to predict when someone is attacking me. It feels like they're slowing down as it analyzes the person or group, along with casting illusions if someone stares directly into my eyes. The evolved abilities are techniques based off the Shinto pantheon, such as the Susanoo, Amaterasu, etc. I can use most of them, but some are for more dire situations since there are consequences to using some of them. Kids being able to use magic and chakra would be a bonus as well," Naruto explained. The group just stared at him, jaws on the group aside from Kushina and Minato having less shocked expressions, having dealt with the Sharingan in the past. But the Rinnegan seemed powerful to everyone to be able to do all that. Grafia was the first to come out of her stupor. "That's impressive, Naruto-sama, but you're not a devil is another issue, and neither Sona or Rias could turn you into a devil when they tried years ago." She mentioned getting nods from them. "That's true, but I plan on fixing that. There is someone who can reincarnate me into one, and I planned on visiting her after we were done here. She's one of the very few who hasn't ever used her pieces since she got them, and I promised to become her queen if I were to ever make it back here," Naruto said with a smirk. "And who is this?" "I mean, it is true there are few who haven't used theirs, but only one person comes to mind. What you just said, and oh, you sly bastard. You're going to have her do turn you, aren't you?" Sursakas realized and smirked. It seems you figured it out, and you're right. Her set can turn me since hers don't have the same restrictions that the others have, and besides my lifespan is nothing compared to a devil's," he said. "Who is he referring to, Oni-sama?" Rias asked. "I can't say, but you'll find out today, but with everything he's told us, we may be able to do something about it. But if it comes down to it, you could challenge him for Rias's hand," Sursakas said. "That, and I'm also wanting to get Riser to wager his peerage, as I know they don't like how he treats them. You know I'm close to a few of them specifically, so if I can get them out of there the better they will be. I also want Revel-chan to be happy, as she was more or less forced to be in her brother's peerage, so this is also to help her," Naruto said, scowling at the thought of Riser. "Revel-chan, huh? Sochi, do you have a thing for her too?" Kushina teased with a grin. What? We're just good friends." "It's not what you think," Naruto said, waving his hands in denial. "If you say so," Kushina said in a sing-song tone. They continued to catch up and talk for the next hour, telling stories of what they've all been up to the last 3 years, with Naruto having the most exciting ones with all the adventures he's had and the different missions. "We should get going, as I'm sure you have paperwork to get back to, Naruto asked Sursakas. "I hate you, Naruto-kun, that you'd bring it up. So cruel to do that to me." Sursakas cried anime tears, with Grafia sighing and smacking him in the back of the head. "Before I forget, is Sarah-chan in her office or at her parents' house?" Naruto asked. "Right now she should be visiting her parents. You can stop by there to see her and her parents. I know they'll be happy to see you again, Naruto-sama," Grafia answered stoically. "Thank you, Grafia-chan. You should smile more. You not smiling doesn't suit you," Naruto said as they left, not noticing the small smile and blush before it disappeared, but Kushina saw it and smirked slightly. "Things are bound to get interesting for us with Naruto-kun back, wouldn't you agree, my dear husband?" Venelana asked. "Indeed, but we'll have to have him and everyone else over for dinner sometime. I'm also glad that he'll be able to get our daughter out of this contract with the Phoenix clan. Lord and Lady Phoenix will be happy with this development, since they also want to end it, but can't with Riser wanting it to happen." Zyodaka sighed. "I trust Naruto-kun to do this. He's gotten a lot stronger since last time. With everything he told us, he'll be able to end this and free Rias. I wonder though how much stronger he's gotten?" Sursakas asked. "Outside Gremory Estates. That was nice to catch to them." "What did you think of them?" Naruto asked Fu and Yujito. "They're a good family." "Will we be able to break the contract politically though, is that question?" Yujito asked. "Probably not, despite knowing how much more I added to it, The simple thing is I'm not a devil, but a human. I'll most likely need to challenge him for Rias's hand. Naruto said. He'll try to refuse the challenge, but I can coerce him into it, with attacking his ego. He smirked. We can finish talking about this later. Where are we going next? Rias asked. We're going to see my family next. I want to discuss something with them that involves you and want you to be there for it. Sona said, looking at Naruto. That's fine with me. Maybe we'll get to see if your sister is there any? Naruto smirked, seeing her get nervous a little bit. If so, I do hope she isn't as embarrassing this time. She's always been like that towards me my whole life. You know how she is. Sona sighed. What do you mean? Fu asked. Sona's sister is somewhat of a siscon when it comes to Sona. She absolutely loves her, and will shower her with affection any chance she can get with her. You'll see what I mean. Naruto snickered, getting an elbow from Sona, making him wince as they disappeared in a magic circle. Citri Mansion. The group appeared at the gates when they were let in. When they saw Sona, they walked into the living room to see her parents along with Seraphol talking about something. When Seraphol saw her, "Sotan!" she shouted, hugging like her life depended on it. Oni-sama. I can't. Breath. She gasped out. Seraphol dear. I think you should let her go, she's looking a little blue. Lord Citri suggested, somewhat worried but more amused than anything. It's good to see you again, Sona, but why are Kushina, Minato, and Rias here? It's good to see you all again, but I'm curious about this unexpected visit. Lady Citri said. Sona adjusted her glasses slightly, regaining her composure. Yes, well, there was someone who wanted to visit. He's been gone for a while and wanted to see everyone again, Sona said cryptically, making them confused. Sona didn't say anything, but moved out of the way when Naruto, Fu, and Yujito came in, but they focused on Naruto. Narutan! Seraphol shouted, hugging him tightly with him returning it. I miss you as well, Sarah-chan. Naruto whispered in her ear, making her snuggle more into his chest. My Narutan is back. I'm so happy. Did you get here by accident again, or was this intentional this time? She asked. I'm here permanently now, Sarah-chan. I'm also here to keep that promise I made you before I left. Do you remember it? He asked. She let go and took a thinking pose before she got excited. Of course I remember, Narutan. I'd never forget something like that, she said excitingly before she opened a small pocket dimension where she pulled out her evil pieces that caught everyone's attention. Oni-sama. Why'd you pull out your evil pieces? Sona asked. I'm making Narutan my queen. Seraphol announced as if it was most obvious thing in the world. What? Everyone except for Fu, Yujito, Lord and Lady Citri shouted, knowing about this. Yeah. Before I left, Sarah-chan wanted me to be her queen, but due to me heading back I couldn't accept her proposal at the time. I promised her that when I would come back that I'd accept it then. Naruto said. Yep. Narutan promised to be my queen from my peerage when he came back. Seraphol said excitingly. Hold on a second. Our son, referring to her and Minato, is going to be your queen? Kushina asked before she grinned. Awesome, Databane. I'm so proud of you, Sochi, Kushina squealed, hugging him. Seraphol nodded in excitement when she turned to look at Naruto. I'm gonna need you to lay down on the ground, so we can get the process done. The sooner we get this done, the sooner we can continue catching up. She said. Alright. Naruto shrugged his shoulders. Naruto laid down on his back with Seraphol taking out her queen piece, preparing for the ritual. I, Seraphol Leviathan, accept you, Naruto Uzumaki, as a part of my peerage. May you live your life happily as my queen. With that said, Seraphol lowered her head, and gave Naruto a loving and gentle smile as the chess piece began sinking into his body. His body underwent through the changes of being reincarnated into a devil. He could feel something twitch on his back, and he felt himself growing stronger as his body was changed from human to devil. His already long lifespan increasing even more as he felt his powers increase even more due to him receiving the queen piece. Naruto looked behind him when he heard the sounds of cloths ripping. He could only stare as the back of his clothes were destroyed after his newly gained bat-like wings took the liberty of freeing themselves. Hearing giggling, Naruto stared at Seraphol, seeing her wings free, but not a scratch on her clothing. Devils wear special clothes that lets our wings bypass the fabric to let them free without destroying clothes in the process. She told him, I'll have new clothes custom tailored for you. I'd appreciate that, Sarah-chan. I'll have no need for all my current clothes then. I forgot that devils have special clothing so they aren't ripped when using your wings, Naruto said, hugging her and kissing her cheek, making Rias, Fu, Yujito, and Sona pout and Seraphol blushing lightly at the action. Sona coughed, getting everyone's attention. I actually needed to talk to Naruto-kun, Tu-san, Ka-san, and Oni-sama about something since he's back for good. This applies to him now. Sona said, looking at her boyfriend. What is it you wanted to talk to us about? Naruto asked curiously. Remember how we used to play chess all the time when you were here? She asked, getting a nod from him. Yeah. We played all the time. Why do you ask? He asked. Wait, Sona, are you telling us that he beat you? Is that what you're getting at? Lord Citri asked. She nodded, confirming it. Hi, he did, and more than once too. I never brought it up since he was here only briefly and I didn't know when he'd be back, she said with Rias's eyes widening, realizing what she's saying. What's going on? Kushina asked confused. When I was younger, I was engaged to someone, but didn't want to go through with it like Rias. I decided to challenge him the right to a game of chess, saying that if I win the marriage contract gets voided and that he wasn't to contact me or my family again, and he agreed, thinking he would easily win. I took me minutes only to win, and so I was free from the contract. But Tusan wasn't happy with the outcome, so we agreed if anyone was able to beat me multiple times without luck, then I'd be engaged to that person. No one had been able to beat me, of course, though. It was until Naruto-kun came along, and we played when we were talking about his home and a game similar to chess called shogi. He beat me for the first time ever, and so we continued to play for a few more hours, and I never once won a match. Sona explained, blushing now. So that means Naruto trails off. You two are engaged now then? Kushina finished the sentence, getting a nod from Sona. Hi. I never said anything before since he was leaving. Sona said, and I'd rather had you not wait on me since we didn't know when I'd be back and there was the chance you could have met someone else along the way, he said, getting a nod from her. I don't blame you for that. Hell, I never said anything either about this. Naruto said, closing in on her and pulling her into a deep kiss. That I love you, Sona Citri, and have for a couple of years now, he said with a small smile, making her blush. That damn smile of his. She thought to herself, Baka. I love you too, Naruto-kun. Sona whispered, leaning into his chest. Kushina and Sona's mother squealed in joy, having their children being engaged while taking pictures. Yay, So-tan and Nara-tan are getting married. This is amazing. Seraphol shouted. I'll need to talk to them about me wanting Nara-tan as well. Seraphol thought to herself, wanting to express her feelings for the blonde, but wanted to wait for the right time to do it. Well, this is interesting, but congratulations, you guys. Ria said with a smile, not at all bothered by this since she knew that Naruto cared about all of his precious people and the girls he was in relationships with. Thank you, Rias. It means a lot coming from you. Sona nodded. Of course. You're one of my best friends, and besides I'll get my chance with Naruto-kun at another time. Rias said. Well, we need to discuss the engagement then and details on when the wedding would take place, along with getting Naruto-kun ready to become a high-class devil when the time comes. Lord Citri said, getting everyone's attention. That's fine. We can spend some time doing that today before we head back to the human world. Naruto said, with Sona agreeing to the idea. They spent the next few hours making plans for the wedding, going over details with Seraphol, talking to Naruto about his new responsibilities as her queen, along with her wanting to train him in magic, along with what he'll need to do to make high-class devil so he can gain his own peerage. Lady Citri talked with Sona, Kushina, Fu, Yujuto, Seraphol, and Rias about the wedding, while Lord Citri, Minato, and Naruto caught up and discussed about different things. It was getting late when everyone decided it was time to go home, but not before Naruto hugging his soon-to-be mother-in-law, giving Lord Citri a handshake and hugging Seraphol when he kissed her cheek, making her blush and giddy. It was great seeing you guys again. Me and Sona will make sure to visit when we get a chance to next time. See you later, Naruto said, with Sona agreeing, waving to them as they disappeared in a magic circle. Kushina and Minato's house. They reappeared in their house, sighing, being tired from the long day of seeing everyone. The group dispersed, with Minato and Kushina going to their room for the night, but not before hugging their son and his girlfriends, leaving Naruto and the girls in the living room. I should be heading home now. I'm tired after today seeing my family along with everything else that happened, Rias said, getting ready to leave, but not before Naruto kissed her, making her smile. I'll see you later then, Rias-chan. Good night, Naruto said as his girlfriend left. I'm of the same mind as Rias. I should be getting home as well. I have to get things ready for you three, making sure everything is properly, Sona said with a small smile, happy to have her fiancé attend school with her. I can understand that. Do you need anything else from us? Naruto asked her. She shook her head. No, I shouldn't, but if I do I will let you know. Sona kissed him, leaving as well. What about you two? He asked them. They looked at each other before nodding and grabbing him and dragging them to their room, with wanting to have some fun with him for the night. The night would end with moans, grunts, shouts, and of course the I'm coming be shouted throughout the night. Naruto of DxD Chapter 3. 2 days later, Minato and Kushina's house. It was morning, with everyone except for Naruto at the table eating breakfast, when after some time of waiting for him to show up, everyone went to go look for him, when Fu found him in the backyard practicing his senjutsu by attempting to purify the area with how much malice and hatred he was feeling from it. Fu walked up to him as Naruto was finishing his exercise. Are you alright, Naruto-kun? You seemed stressful while you were sitting there, Fu said, worried. He smiled at his girlfriend and nodded at her. I'm fine, Fu-chan. I was simply purifying the area with senjutsu. It feels like nature is angry with the world as it's filled with hatred and malice, and I'm trying to fix that. It also helps me practice in entering sage mode faster and easier, Naruto explained, standing up. He kissed her, which she reciprocated with, deepening the kiss as they went on to make out for a few minutes when they pulled back. Thank you for the concern, Fu-chan, but I'm alright really. I'll try not to worry you and the others so much, Naruto said, getting a smile from her, nodding in acceptance. Now come on. Breakfast is ready, and I don't think your mom is very happy about you not showing up for breakfast. She snickered, seeing him sweat a bit. Alright. Let's head inside then. We do have school today after all, right? We should hurry up and get going. he said as they both walked back inside. When they walked inside they were greeted to Kushina, who looked pissed. She looked to have no pupils with veins on her forehead, and her hair lifting and splitting into 9 parts like tails, making him cower and pale at the sight. Hey Ka-chan, he said weakly. Now Sochi, we need to have a talk about being on time to breakfast. Kushina said with a sickly sweet smile. We can work this out, Mom. Dad, a little help here? Naruto asked his dad, but he didn't want any part in this as he knows not to get on his wife's bad side. I'm sorry son, but you're on your own on this one. Good luck though, Minato said, going back to his breakfast. Kushina dragged him into a room where everyone within the block could hear screaming, crying, and lots of not there or not the face. No one paid attention to it, not wanting her wrath on them, with Minato being used to how his wife could be, but felt bad for his son nonetheless. Later on, after Kushina had talked to Naruto about being on time to meals and such, with him agreeing without a moment's notice, not wanting to experience her wrath again, as he now learned not to mess with his mother. The rest of the morning went by without much else happening, and the three had finished getting ready and decided to walk to school rather get a ride from his parents. They could see the gate approaching and started to see the academy, and they were surprised to see how massive it was and how nice it looked as well. As they got closer, they could hear whispers from the students that had gotten there talking about them. I've never seen them before. You think they're new? One girl asked. Who knows, but he is handsome. I wonder if he's single. 2 more beauties to this school. A fanbot shouted in excitement. Great, another pretty boy. Why can't they all just die? Those 2 are goddesses. The 3 were sweat dropping at the comments they were hearing, and it was something new getting positive attention. But one thing they hated was fangirls/boys. They walked past them all, ignoring the comments, to reach their respective classrooms. Hey Fu-chan, Yudi-chan, what classroom are you in? He asked them. I'm in 2B. I'm looking forward to it. Fu said in her usually bubbly and cheerful voice. I'm in 3A. Should be interesting, but I'm not looking forward to all the attention I'm getting from everyone, especially the boys. It's pathetic to see people like this, Yujito said, shaking her head in disappointment. Looks like we have the same class together, as I'm in 3A as well. I know what mean. It's making me nervous seeing how all the girls here are looking at me like a piece of meat. Naruto shuddered at the thought of fangirls. At least I'll know someone, but maybe there will be others we both know will be in the same class. Yujito said. They were hoping to have some others they knew in the same class, as it would make things easier for them, as Sona never said anything about any one of them being in the same class. They arrived to Fu's class first, with her and Naruto sharing a small kiss as she went off to her classroom to wait for her introduction, with Naruto and Yujito heading to their classroom for the same thing, 3A. This looks to be the right classroom. Let's see how this goes, Naruto said as he knocked on the door. You must be the new students. Why don't you introduce yourselves to everyone here? He said, signaling for them to do it. I'm Yujito Ni. I hope to get along with all of you and do take care of me, she said with a bow. Well, I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. Do take care of me as well, he said, bowing as well, not caring about the gasps. Are you related to Minato-sensei and Kushina-sensei? One student asked. Yes, I am. I'm their son, he said, as that caused an uproar in the class. Now settle down, class. I'll let you a few ask them questions and then we'll need to get started, the teacher said. What's your favorite color? A girl asked. Orange, Naruto answered. Are you single? No, I'm not. Damn it. Naruto-sama is already taken. Damn pretty boy already has the attention of all the females. That's enough. Only a few for Yujito, the teacher said. Do you have a boyfriend? A boy asked with hope. I do, she said with a smirk, seeing all the guys get depressed. Who's your boyfriend? Naruto-kun here, of course, but he's not the only one he's in a relationship with, she said, smirking still. Damn you Namikaze. All the pretty boys get the girls and leave us with none of them. Alright, that's enough. Now Miss Yujito, go sit next to Miss Himejima. Mr. Namikaze, go sit next to Miss Shirtorai and Miss Gremory. Raise your hand, girls, so they know, he said. They both raised their hands, excited, having their friends/boyfriends/fiancé to sit with them, but didn't show it. They walked to their respective desks, with Naruto smiling at Sona and Rias. It's good to see you again, Sona-san, Rias-chan, Naruto said professionally to Sona, but more affectionately with Rias. Naruto knew that Sona was strict when in the school, so he respected this and decided to go along with it, but still wanted to show that they were together. Rias, however, was different, as she wasn't as strict as Sona, so he could talk to express their relationship more to everyone. You as well, Naruto-san. I welcome you to Ko Academy. Hopefully you enjoy your time here with us, Sona said, adjusting her glasses. Hello, Naruto-kun. I look forward to having you here as well. Do take care of me, Rias said with a big smile. Thank you, Rias-chan, Naruto said, kissing her cheek, making her blush a little. Hello again, Akeno-chan. I'm looking forward to being in the same class as you, Yujito said. It should be fun, Akeno said with a smile. The class went on pretty normal, with nothing else happening aside from the boys glaring at Naruto for the attention it was getting from the 3 most popular girls in the school along with the new girl. The bell finally rang for lunch, with Sona, Rias, Naruto, Yujito, Fu, Kiba, Kaneko, Issei, Asia, Tsubaki met in the ORC clubroom, enjoying each other's company, and some of them catching up or getting to know Yujito and Fu more. So Naruto-kun, did you pick up any new techniques or abilities while you were gone? You were strong already, but I'm curious to know how much stronger you could have gotten since you went back home. Sona asked with curiosity, with everyone else aside from Yujito and Fu knowing already what all he can do. Well, a lot had happened, so learning new stuff was bound to happen. I can't show off too much, but I can promise you this. You'll be quite surprised of what I can do now. One thing I will mention is I was able to completely master my Bijuu's power and the different forms that I have. I don't use the second one a lot due to some side effects after I use it. He replied, getting a nod from her. What forms is he talking about, Bucho? Issei asked, staring at her chest, shamelessly making Naruto frown as he smacked him in the back of the head. Ow! What the hell was that for? He shouted. You were staring at my girlfriend's chest. That's something I won't tolerate you doing. The same goes for Akeno-chan, Sona-chan, Fu-chan, Yujito-chan, Kaneko-chan, or Tsubaki-san. Got it, perv? Don't want me catching you peeping on them. He threatened. Issei shivered at the glare, nodding quickly as he left the room, not wanting to die from the blonde as Asia went after him to comfort him. A fufu who knew Naruto-kun could be so protective of us. Isn't that right, Bucho? Akeno asked her king in amusement. Rias looked at her queen, shaking her head. Perhaps, but Naruto, could you not threaten my servant like that? She asked. I'll do my best, but depends on what he does. If he misbehaves, then he'll need to be punished. Isn't that right, Akeno-chan? Naruto asked her, giggling. Era. He has a point there. Perhaps I could assist you in his punishment? She asked with her cheeks gaining pink blush as she is giggling behind her hand. Okay, enough you two. Rias ordered, shivering from their conversation. Just trying to have some fun, Rias-chan. He said, pulling her closer and kisses her cheek, making her smile wider. I do believe that you need to show some restraint, Naruto-kun. Do behave yourself at least, please. Sona said while trying not to appear pleadingly. Fine. I'll behave myself, you too. He said, kissing Sona's cheek, making her smile slightly. Naruto-san, we need to have a spar sometime. I'd like to see how much you've improved. You still have that blade? Kiba asked, excited to spar with him again, as it was always a learning experience for him as not many could challenge him. Of course I do. I carry it with me always in a storage seal. That, and I also found another blade that you might like, but that'll be for another time. Want to spar after school, or do you have peerage duties tonight? He asked. We actually do have a group of strays that need to be taken care of. I'm sure you heard about it as well, Sona, but there's a good amount of them. It'll take both peerages to take them out. Ria said. Sona nodded, knowing this already from her sister. That's true. We can take care of them tonight. Do you want to come with us, Naruto-kun? She asked. Of course. This'll give me the chance to cut loose a little. I have had the chance to really do anything in months. Naruto said eagerly. Okay then. We'll meet back here after school. Sona said, not sure how to respond to that, as she got up, giving Naruto a kiss and leaving with Tsubaki following her after she said her goodbyes as well. We should head back too. The bell is going to be ringing any time now. Rias said, getting nods from everyone as they all departed from the clubroom for classes. The outskirts of KUH. When everyone appeared, they were in the outskirts in front of an abandoned warehouse. Alright everyone, our targets were reported to be here. His name is Zidonius, as he's the leader of this group, and he went stray after raping and killing his king's daughter, so our job is to make sure that tonight is his last night alive, said Sona. Naruto was already ready for a fight, as he hadn't been able to do much since the war ended. He then stiffened as his senses were going crazy. What's wrong, Naruto-kun? Asked Akeno as she saw him stiffen. I'm alright. How many did you say were supposed to be here? He asked. It was said that there were about 20 or so. Why do you ask? Sona inquired, wondering. I'm sensing a lot more than one devil in that warehouse, said Naruto, shocking everyone but also getting them to be even more on guard, even though Akeno still didn't get off of him. That is strange, stray devils don't usually group together at all, since it makes it much easier to find them. How many are you sensing, Naruto? Asked Sona. I'd say about 40 in total, but there's one that seems to be stronger than the other 39, said Naruto. That one must be our target. Everyone get ready for a fight, said Sona. Naruto looked over at Sona with a questionable gaze. Do you guys mind letting me handle this? Naruto asked, getting surprised looks from everyone, with some looking at him like he's crazy except for Fu and Yujito, who were smirking at him. I don't know if that's a good idea. May I ask why you want to take them on alone? Rias asked, worried. It'll be fine. This will be a decent workout is all, and a chance to cut loose a little. Not only that, but you'll get to see what I can do now compared to 3 years ago. I'll end it quickly, I promise. Ask Yujito or Fu, they know I'll be fine. Naruto pointed at the two, with everyone seeing their smirks, not even concerned about him wanting to go in there alone. Sigh. There's no arguing with you on this, is there? She asked, getting a shake of his head. Fine, but do be careful. I'd hate for something to happen to you, Rias said, concerned for her boyfriend. I'll be fine. Trust me. These strays won't even know what hit them. He smirked as he disappeared in a swirl of lightning shunshin, surprising everyone. What was that? Tsubaki asked, having never seen anything like it. That would be Naruto-kun's lightning shunshin. It's basically a teleporting technique that we use, except he's mastered it with being able to use it with different elements, Yujito answered. Impressive. I wonder what else he can do. Sona said with curiosity on what else her fiancé could do. Ufufa. I'm sure it'll be quite exciting to see him at work. I look forward to seeing him in action and giving them some punishment, Akeno said with her cheeks getting a small blush. Naruto-senpai is strong, Kaneko said in her stoic tone. Naruto walked in and could see most of them just doing nothing at the moment. Well, what do we have here? A little pest, and look, he's brought a group of little whores for us to enjoy, said one of the stray devils. They smell like virgins, so I bet they're nice and tight, said another stray devil. I can't wait to hear them beg for our cum once they're broken in, said another stray devil. I call dibs on the small one with the gold eyes. I bet I can split her in half on my, said another. I want the white-haired ones. I haven't had a girl with that hair color yet, said another, referring to Kaneko and Momo. I want the black-haired one next to her, as she would be nice to break in, said another. I want the one with the bob cut and glasses. Her serious face just screams she needs in her life, said another. I call dibs on the dirty blonde and the mint-haired ones. They have such beautiful bodies, another said. Naruto was practically a volcano ready to erupt with how boiling hot the rage inside him was with every word they were saying. The Biju were pissed off, especially Matatabi, as they weren't any better, as they was practically foaming at the mouth with her rage adding to Naruto's. Sona, Rias and the rest of their peerages were very uncomfortable with what was being said, but they were also angry that these strays thought that they would just sit back and allow them do these disgusting things to them. They didn't move though, as all of them could pretty much feel the raw white-hot rage coming from Naruto. His closer friends and girlfriends smirked at this, as they have all seen what happens when Naruto is pissed. Naruto let loose his killer intent, making most of them go down to the floor gasping for air, as they see his eyes change from their blue to purple with purple rings, 7 tomos and a 6-pointed star. He also released one of his storage seals on his arm, releasing some smoke. As it died down, they saw a massive sword he was holding with ease. This was the Kiribocho, or the Executioner Blade. You never talk about my precious people like some type of toy. I'm gonna tear you all apart, he shouted, stabbing his sword into the ground as he raised his hands, shouting, Shinra Tensei. A invisible force sent all of the crashing into the walls, as others who weren't affected charged him with various weapons he had, and others who stayed back ready to cast spells. Die! It swung his sword down with Naruto dodging it, and swinging his blade cutting it in half, as others were angered and wanted vengeance for their dead friend. Kill him! Naruto charged them all, using his blade cutting them down easily until something sent him back, landing on his feet, seeing them get their bearings together ready to attack him again. Naruto smirked, however, letting his blade stab into the ground, going through 1 or 2 hand signs before inhaling. Katan, Goka Mekyaka, Naruto cried and unleashed a massive fireball from his mouth, which covered a wide area of the area, making more than half of them cry out in pain, disintegrating from the flames being so hot. With the group, what the hell? Issei shouted in awe and slight fear. What happened to his eyes? They changed again, like when they arrived here through the portal, Ria said when they heard chuckling, turning towards the laughing to see Yujito smirking. That would be his Rinne-Sharingan coming to life. What they said pissed him off, and he used one of his techniques called Shinra Tensei, which repels anything and anyone it's directed towards. It's a gravity-based technique. He has another one called Universal Pull, where it does the opposite of the other one. Instead of pushing, it pulls towards him. Those eyes were gift from his best friend Sasuke Uchiha. He transferred the power to him when he was dying so he could finish what he needed to do. The other technique he used was a fire-based jutsu, but one of Madara Uchiha's, who was a legend in our world. She explained with Fu grinning in excitement, seeing her boyfriend going after them with the others in shock, with most having their jaws on the ground. What's that sword he has? It's massive. I'm surprised he can lift it at all, Momo said in surprise. That would be Kiribocho. That is one of the blades that used to belong to a group called the 7 Swordsmen of the Mist, a special group of swordsmen that were selected by the Mizukage, the leader of the Hidden Mist village. The previous wielder wanted Naruto-kun to have it. The blade can take quite the damage, and even repair itself when chakra is applied to it. He trained his muscles for months to be able to move it around as easy as he does now, Yujito said. Interesting. What other elements can he use besides fire? Sona asked, intrigued with what she's seeing. You'll have to find out. Naruto-kun will surprise you with what else he can do, Fu said cheerfully. How can she be so happy all the time, even seeing something like this? Everyone was wondering, sweat dropping. Back to Naruto. Naruto had an impassive look on his face, seeing the remaining devils backing away in fear of this man, no monster in front of them, but didn't have a chance to run away when Naruto disappeared and reappeared in front of them. Naruto went through hand signs again, shouting, lava style, lava bullets. A series of lava bullets were released from his mouth, the size of beach balls, that were connecting with the rest of them. Well, that's 39 down and 1 to go. I assume you're Zidonius, said Naruto as he started to walk towards the figure that was still hiding himself. That is correct. Since you know who I am, there is no need to continue hiding myself with this silly spell, said Zidonius, and with a swipe of his hand removed the spell. With the spell gone, it revealed that he was 10 feet tall, with a thick muscular body, skin as black as the night, for red slanted eyes, 4 arms that were bugling with large muscles, large hands with long claws, powerful legs with hooves for feet, large skeletal wings on his back, and he had no lips revealing razor-sharp teeth. So you're the son of a bitch that raped and killed his king's daughter. Oh, I'm going to enjoy this way more than I should, said Naruto with a feral grin. Is that what you're here about? You should grateful to me for doing that. We're supposed to be devils, creatures of sin that care for nothing but fulfilling our own desires no matter the cost. She was young, beautiful, and tight. I wanted her, so I took her over and over again until she died from it. Who knew a 12-year-old could feel so good? Said Zidonius with sick pleasure in his voice. Naruto disappeared in a burst of speed and appeared in front of Zidonius, and delivered a right cross to his jaw. Zidonius went flying, but Naruto appeared in front of him, and gave him a fierce uppercut that sent him into the air. Naruto appeared above him once again, and this time hard axe kick to the top of his head that rocketed him into the ground. When Naruto landed on the ground, Zidonius shot out of the crater his body had made and tried to attack Naruto with his claws. Unfortunately for him, Naruto's Hierro protected him from Zidonius's claws while he blocked all of the stray's strikes. With a couple of well-placed punches and kicks, Naruto broke all 4 of Zidonius's arms before palm thrusting him in the chest and sending him across the warehouse. Man, this fight was boring. I expected so much more from a group of 40, but you all were so weak. At least I get to enjoy destroying a piece of trash like you, said Naruto before he unsheathed his sword. No, I will not die like this. This is not my end. Zidonius shouted, charging all the magic he could collect before he fired it all at Naruto, with the blast being 3 times the size of Naruto. An explosion went off with him smirking, thinking he won, and went to go meet with the other devils when he heard someone clapping. Well, not half bad. That would have at most burned off my clothes if I hadn't been able to block most of it, Naruto said. He was standing in what looked like a small humanoid samurai skeleton holding an energy blade. Zidonius fell on his ass and started backing away in fear as Naruto approached him. You will no longer be able to hurt anyone ever again. You will know pain, he said as everyone could hear what sounded like birds chirping. Lightning style, Chidori, Naruto shouted as he shoved his lightning-covered fist in his chest, killing him instantly. He pulled his hand out as Zidonius collapsed on the ground dead from his heart being pierced. Naruto burned the body using a small fire jutsu before he walked out to greet everyone, but when he met up with them, everyone but Yujito and Fu were shocked at what they just witnessed. Yujito and Fu congratulated him, knocking them out of their stupor before following their example with doing the same thing. You couldn't do any of those things before. That was quite the show you put on, Naruto-kun. Fire, lava, gravity techniques, and lightning. Is there anything you can't do? Rias asked, shaking her head. He chuckled. That wasn't even a quarter of what I can do with chakra. I didn't even need to use any of my cloaks or senjutsu for this, Naruto said. Everyone gasped hearing that he can use senjutsu before Rias, Kiba, Akeno, Sona, and Tsubaki looked at Kaneko to see what she'd do. She walked up to him before she looked straight into his blue eyes before she punched him in the gut, making him hunch over in pain. How can you use senjutsu? Don't you know it's dangerous, Naruto-kun? Kaneko yelled at him in anger. I was trained in it actually. It's only dangerous if I take in too much and allow it to control my actions. I know what you're referring to, but I'm fine, Kaneko-chan. I know you have your fear of it, but it's a part of you. I'll help you with this if you want. Naruto whispered in her ear, comforting her. I don't know. Can I think about it? She asked, scared of learning it. Sure. We have time, but remember it's a part of you. It doesn't dictate you. Naruto replied, kissing the top of her head, making her blush. What was the skeletal thing you used? Kiba asked. That, my friend, would be the first stage of the Susanoo. It's a technique with that Sharingan that's deemed as the ultimate defense in their clan. I didn't feel the need to go all out with it, otherwise I would have destroyed the building, Naruto said as Kiba nodded in the explanation. Well, this has certainly been an interesting night. We learned quite a bit about your capabilities. It's too bad I can't reincarnate you into my peerage, Naruto-kun. Rias pouted at this, with Sona of the same mind. I'm sorry, girls. It's not my fault. Naruto shrugged. It's okay. Anyway, it's getting late, and we should be heading back now, Sona said, with everyone agreeing, and teleported home for the night. Naruto reappeared using his magic circle when he saw his mom grading some papers, as he thought of something that would make her happy and decided to do it. Hey Kaa-chan. Kushina looked up and smiled at her son, who sat down at the table with him. Hey Sochi. How was your day in dealing with the stray devils? She asked. It was fine. The strays were easily dealt with, but there were more than expected, but didn't really change the outcome. As for my day, it was good. Not a lot happened with it being my first day. Although I am not looking forward to dealing with fangirls. He shivered at the looks he was getting from them. He swore fangirls were the worst and most terrifying. He wondered how Sasuke dealt with it. That's good. Sona said something about that, but also said you handled it by yourself. Want to explain that to me as to why you'd handle all of them alone? Kushina smiled that was scaring him as a red aura was starting to surround her. Well, it was nothing to hard to handle Kaa-chan. He was sweating and hoping that she doesn't kill him when he had an idea come to mind. Wait, Kaa-chan, I have something to give you, he said. The aura disappeared all of a sudden. Really? What is it you have for me, Sochi? She asked, curious about what he wanted to give her. He sighed in relief seeing her aura disappear. grinning and was looking forward to showing her what he had for her. You'll have to wait for me to bring it out. It was something that belonged to you before you died, he said. Now this got her attention even more. It used to be hers? There were many things that she had left behind for him to have, but can only think of a handful of things. What is it? She asked excitedly. Naruto channeled chakra into one of his storage seals and a puff of smoke gathered around, and when the smoke disappeared she gasped, seeing something that she thought she'd never see again. It was her sword that earned her the title Red Death during the Third Ninja War. This was yours. I held onto it, and kept it in pristine condition in case it would ever be used by me, but it never did happen. I have my 2 swords that I use that I'm comfortable with. This belongs to you as its wielder, he said, handing it to her, as she stared at it, then at her son, repeating this for a minute until she pulled him into a hug. Thank you so much, Sochi. This sword was special to me and had always been with me whenever I went on missions during the war. It looks in perfect condition. Thank you for taking care of it even if you never used it. But what do you use if you don't use this one? She asked. One I use is the Kiribocho and the other is Samehade. They were both swords that belonged in the village hidden in the mist, but the Mizukage let me keep them when the war ended. Kushina being shocked was an understatement, as normally they'd want to keep any sword that was a part of the 7 swordsmen of the mist as it belonged there. But for them to let her son take them and keep them is something else. She grinned and yelled in excitement. Minato-kun! Get out here now! Our Sochi is amazing. He has 2 swords from the 7 swordsmen of the mist. She bellowed out, excited to show them off to him. Minato blurred down in shock to hear this bit of news, as he knows how special they are and what they can do. What? He shouted in excitement. It's true. Look! It's the Kiribocho that he has right now. I'm gonna assume he has Samehade somewhere else where no one can get to it, Kushina said, bouncing on her feet in excitement. And how proud she is of her son. That's incredible. It's impressive to be given not 1, but 2 of them. I'd like to hear more about it, but it's getting late, and you have school in the morning, Minato said as he went back to his room with Kushina hugging him and following her husband. 2 weeks later, not a lot had been happening since his fight with the stray devils. Naruto had checked the publisher for the books that he wanted published, and was excited to see how well they did selling off like they did. His first check was astounding to him, as he had enough to last him for years. He decided to get a house for him, Fu, and Yujito so they wouldn't have to rely on his parents anymore despite their protests, or his mother's protests about it. School had been going well for him. He was acing his classes much to Sona's pleasure. Speaking of Sona, they continued to make plans with her and his parents for the wedding as they wanted it to be soon, but they were able to convince them to wait until the break at least, where they would have time for it. They continued to play chess and she would still have trouble against him, but she was excited to have finally beaten him for the first time since they first met. He had spent time with Akeno and Kaneko and catching up with him since he hadn't spent as much time with them as he would have had liked to when he first arrived. And finally Rias, he noticed, was how different she had been acting lately. He had an idea as to what it was, but he would wait for her to talk to him about it and not to push it. Naruto was making his way to the ORC building with Sona with Tsubaki behind her to see how Rias was, as Sona had also noticed how she was acting and was thinking the same thing. That was bothering her. You think it's that what's bothering her? This is the only thing that would ever get her to acting like this, Naruto said, looking at them. It's a good chance that's the case. I don't blame her for it, as he's not a good guy and a bad example for the Phoenix clan, Sona replied. Can't argue with that one. She won't have to worry too much about it though, as you know I plan on challenging him. I'm gonna try to get him to wage his entire peerage as well. Any suggestions on how I can get that to happen? He asked. Well, playing his ego will help significantly in that regard, along with doing what you have planned, even if I'm against it. I'm not worried about losing to him. How strong would you say you are now? She asked. Well, I'm not entirely sure, but I'm at least ultimate class devil, but we'll have to spar with someone to figure out where I exactly stand, he said before looking at Tsubaki. And how was your day, Tsubaki? My day was fine, thank you for asking, Tsubaki said. That's good. Any luck with Kiba yet? He teased, getting a small blush from her. I don't know what you're talking about. She denied with a blush on her cheeks, but Naruto's grin got wider. Oh, don't be like that. You two look great together, he said. You really think so? Tsubaki asked nervously. I do. He's a great guy and you both deserve to be happy, Naruto said, smiling at his friend, who smiled back. Thank you, Naruto-san. It means a lot to hear that from you. How have you and Sona been doing? Tsubaki asked as she smiled at her king's fiancé with his kind words. They looked at each other, smiling with him, pulling her closer to him. We're doing great. Our parents are excited about the wedding. Of course our mothers are going crazy with the whole thing. Kao-chan won't stop asking about grandkids for her to spoil, he said, blushing along with Sona. That's true. I wish they'd take it easy and not be so Oni-sama about it all. Sona shook her head. Oh. I see. Tsubaki said, unsure of how to respond to that. What about the others? How are they taking to you being engaged? They seem to be doing alright. Yugi-chan and Fu-chan don't mind her marrying me first, since Sona-chan met me first, even if we got together later. Rias is a little miffed about the whole thing, but she's been fine about it. Akeno is just Akeno really. She wants her chance sometime from what she said. Kaneko-chan is wanting to go on dates before we become a couple. She's happy of course though and doesn't mind waiting as well. Naruto explained, getting nods from the two girls. That's good to hear, she said as they fell into a comfortable silence the rest of the walk to the ORC building. They walked in with Ria sitting behind her desk with Akeno behind her, and Grafia talking to her with Issei and Asia in one couch, Fu and Kaneko sitting on the other couch with Kaneko eating her sweets, and lastly Yujito and Kiba leaning against the wall talking. As I said already, I'm not going to be marrying him, Ria said with venom in her voice. Before Grafia could speak any further, an orange glow began emitting from the floor, interrupting the redhead from saying any more. There was just enough time to see the magic circle with an unfamiliar crest come to life on the carpet before the entire thing burst into flames. Whoever was teleporting into the room obviously had a flair for dramatics. Before the flames fully dispersed, a figure appeared inside of the fire. There was a gust of wind that put the blaze out, finally revealing the person who had so blatantly disrupted their meeting. The person in question was a man around his early 20s with short yellow hair and dark blue eyes. He was wearing a burgundy blazer with gold embroidery on the right, matching pants and black dress shoes. Underneath was a white dress shirt that was not fully buttoned, giving a view of his muscular chest. This was Riser Phoenix, the fiancé of Rias Gremory. It's been a long time since Riser came to the human world, the man said, his eyes looking around the room before landing on Rias. When Naruto saw the delight spring into those eyes, he had to quell the sudden urge to use his Rinne-Sharingan and take his soul. The way Rias shuddered in disgust did not help impede this emotion any. My darling, Rias, I'm so happy to see you. Riser Phoenix, the way Rias said his name did not invoke pleasant thoughts. It was a name spoken with disgust and enough disdain to fill the building. It's not hard to understand why she doesn't like him at all. I just came here to inform you that the date has been set. Riser walked over to the desk. Rias was using a shield to keep them apart. Now, while I know it's a little sudden, I thought we could go visit the location the ceremony is taking place in. I've already told you, Riser, I have no intention of marrying you. Rias dear, this is for the two houses to unite though, Riser said with a smirk. Enough, Riser. Rias slammed her hands onto the desk as she glared at the blonde man standing before her. If looks could kill, Riser would have been dead before he even had a chance to utter his last name. I've already told you, I'm not going to marry you. You say that like you have a choice. Riser sounded amused, but there was also a hint of steel in his voice. We both know there isn't much you can do. Both our families have already decided on this, and the contract's been written up. Don't forget that your family has been just as hasty to unite our two houses as mine. Don't speak so presumptuously. Rias narrowed her eyes. As the heir to the Gremory family, I am the one who will decide who gets to be my partner. And regardless of that, I was already promised that I would be allowed to do as I pleased until after I graduated from a university in the human world. I fear you don't quite understand the situation, Rias my dear, Riser said snidely. Your parents and Surzek-sama fear your household may go extinct. In the previous war between gods, fallen angels and devils, many pure-blooded devils lost their lives in the conflict. And that's not even mentioning the number of households that went extinct. It's only natural that our parents would struggle to protect our pure blood and household by joining together. The offspring of two high-ranking, pure-blooded devils is invaluable. Even you should know that. Naruto decided to make his presence known in the room. That's enough, Riser. She's already made her thoughts quite clear on the matter, he said as he walked up to the group standing beside Rias. Riser turned to see Naruto standing there with his arms crossed over his chest. You human trash. This doesn't concern you, Riser shouted. Oh, but it can after all when it concerns one of my girlfriends whose relationship with me is being risked. I'll do anything to hold on to her, Naruto said without any form of emotion. Ha! You a filthy human with my Rias, that's absurd. She's engaged to me and she'll be mine, Riser said arrogantly at the blonde. If that's the case then I'm challenging you, Riser Phoenix, for Rias Gremory's hand. That is unless you're scared to take me on, Naruto stated, getting surprised looks from everyone aside from Rias, Grafia, Sona, Tsubaki, Yujito, and Fu since they were aware of this happening. Hey, are you serious? You, a human challenging a phoenix? There's no way you'll win against me, Riser said, mocking him, laughing. I'm completely serious. Just because you're a phoenix doesn't mean shit. Without the regeneration you're nothing. I've seen your rating games and your record. You're not as good as you believe to be. It's your peerage that does everything and gets you the wins. Ravel is the strategist and an excellent one at that. You just rely on your phoenix abilities. You're nothing but trash. If you don't believe me, prove me wrong. I'll even take on your peerage as well. Naruto smirked. Riser was furious with what he was hearing. Him of all people being questioned by a human no less. He wouldn't let this go unpunished, and he'd show this human that he's nothing compared to him. Fine. I accept your challenge. To prove I'll win this, I'll even wager my peerage on this to show you that I'll destroy you. Riser glared at him as he snapped his fingers and a large phoenix crest appeared, giving off large fire, and when it died down it revealed to be a group of women that were his peerage. This is what you'll be against. The match will take place in 10 days, so be grateful I'm giving you that much time to prepare, even though it won't really matter in the end. Brother, what were we called here for? Ravel asked, confused. I was showing my challenger what he'll be up against. The fool challenged me for my Rias's hand. Riser told her, pointing at Naruto. The girls followed where their king was pointing at when they saw an old friend of theirs. They would have said something, but Naruto placed a finger on his lips, telling them not to say anything since he didn't know that they were friends with him in the past. Riser will see you in 10 days, filthy human, and I'll make you suffer for this action against me. Let's go, Riser said as he and his peerage left, but not before Naruto waved to them with them smiling at him as they disappeared. After a few minutes of silence, Akeno shocked him with her lightning magic while Kaneko punched him straight in the stomach, hard. Well, I guess I did deserve that, he said dryly while chuckling and holding his stomach. Rias had stood up to scold Akeno and Kaneko for hurting him too much. Then she remembered Naruto's condition if he wins and punched him in the stomach again just as he was about to recover, sending him to his knee again. When the three of them asked why Naruto made a condition like that with fire burning in their eyes, Naruto chuckled and stood up to explain. I couldn't stand by and let them suffer at his hands. I know how he treats them as I've been friends with them ever since I met them. Especially Yubel-chan and Ravel-chan. I couldn't let them stay with him, and would want the best for them. I'd do whatever it took to make sure they'd be happy. I had to play his ego to get him to accept and wager his peerage against me. He treats them like objects and toys, and that is something I will not stand for, Naruto explained while trying to gain his bearings from the beating he took. Fine. Just don't lose or else you'll be in world of pain, Naruto-kun. Rias threatened with a too sweet of a smile. Naruto paled at his girlfriend's threat, covering what makes him a man. I won't lose, but now that gives me time to train a bit. Despite how strong I am already, I can always improve in areas, and besides this will give me a chance to get help from my Ka-chan and a special ability that I acquired, Naruto said with determination. Grafia cleared her throat, getting everyone's attention. Well, now that everything is settled, I need to be heading back to the underworld and let Surzek-sama about this turn of events. Good luck, Naruto-san, Grafia said in her usual stoic tone, leaving in a magic circle. So what exactly would your Ka-chan train you in? Rias asked. You'll find out. It's something that only me and her are able to do. I do, however, will want to spar with either of my parents so they can see what I might need to work on. I would like to train with you guys if you'd like during the 10 days? Naruto asked. Rias looked at her peerage members, seeing them nod at wanting to improve themselves. Sure. We'd like the chance to get stronger. What do you have in mind, if I may ask? Rias asked curiously. Well, with Akeno, I have some lightning techniques. She could create some spells based off of them, along with increasing her hand-to-hand and stamina. Kaneko, I know this won't be easy, but I can teach you how to use senjutsu. You need to use your chakra as it's a part of your heritage, and the more you repress it, the more hurt you'll do to yourself, he said as Rias was about to question what he meant, but held up his hand to stop her. Issei, we'll work from the ground up in strength, stamina, find some martial arts style for you to use, etc. Kiba, my Ka-chan is a swords master, so training with her will help you a lot. Back at home she was feared for her swordsmanship throughout the elemental nations, and could learn a lot from her. And Rias, learning to be creative with your power of destruction, along with maybe increasing your stamina, and some hand-to-hand in case you would ever need to fight in close quarters. He finished explaining. Senpai. What did you mean when you said that I was hurting myself? Kaneko asked in slight fear. Exactly what I mean. Forcing yourself to not take in chakra or senjutsu will make you weaker throughout your life and will make you mature much slower than normally. I don't want you to get hurt because of this, and want you to be at your strongest, and to overcome this problem, which I will help you the whole way. The same goes for everyone. I want you to succeed and to be your best, so be prepared to put in some tough training. He chuckled darkly, making everyone step back and wonder if maybe they shouldn't have said anything. Naruto of DxD Chapter 4, ORC Clubroom. We'll go see my parents about training, and then I need to make a stop to the underworld to visit someone, Naruto said, leaving with everyone following him. Who will you be visiting? Rias asked. The Phoenix family. I haven't had the chance to visit them now, and would like to before the raiding game with the douchebag Phoenix. Naruto smirked, seeing everyone chuckle at the nickname. I see. Fine, but don't take too long, as we have planning for our training to do after all, so don't take too long, sensei. Rias said, saying the last part sarcastically. I won't be too long, but I will warn you now. I will not go easy on anyone, even if I'm dating you, Akeno-chan, Rias-chan, and seeing Nico-chan, he said with a grin that scared them a little, except for Akeno. Era. Is Whiskers-kun going to punish us? I do hope so, Akeno said while holding a hand to her cheek, blushing with a sensual smile. Akeno! Rias shouted, hoping to calm her friend's sadistic nature. Oh come on, Rias, just imagine it. Him pushing you down to the ground on top of you, holding your wrists so you can't get out. It's something I'd like to happen to me, Akeno said, her cheeks getting redder and rubbing her thighs together in anticipation. Rias turns red that almost matches her hair but gains a seductive smirk. I wouldn't mind that happening to me, she thought to herself as she giggled. Butcho is fantasizing again, Kaneko said in her usual emotionless tone, but with a small pink hue to her cheeks at what Akeno said. Kaneko! Rias shouted in embarrassment. Kiba had a nervous smile with Issei inching away from the black-haired teen while crying anime tears in jealousy of Naruto having a harem already before him. Fu and Yujito weren't sure what to do about the whole thing that was going on, so they just left as well. Minato and Kushina's house. So let me get this straight, son. You challenged Riser for Rias's hand so he wouldn't get Rias with how she hates him, right? He then gave you 10 days to train before the raiding game, and during that time you want us to help train not only you, but Rias and her peerage as well, correct? Kushina asked. Yes, that's right, but I want you to train me in something specifically that only you could help me with. Naruto said. And what would be Sochi? She asked. This. Naruto said as some chains came out of his back swaying behind him, making her jaw drop to the ground, not expecting her chains to be passed on to her son. It took her a few moments to get out of her stupor when she squealed and brought her son in a bone-crushing hug. Yes. Finally I can teach someone how to use them, Databane. I've always wondered if you could use the chakra chains like I could, and seeing you being able to use them makes me so happy. She yelled, letting him go from the hug. I'll gladly teach you about them. Just be prepared that I won't go easy on you. She smiled sweetly, seeing him start to sweat. Naruto felt like a prey this time around rather than the hunter, and it scared him seeing his mother like this. This would be a chance for them to bond more and to spend some quality time together, which made him more determined to learn more as he wanted to make her proud of him. Thank you, Ka-chan. I won't let you down, he assured her. Now we can plan what to train you all in, as there's much we don't know about your abilities except from what evil piece you have. Minato said, getting nods from everyone. They spent the next few hours coming up with a training schedule for everyone with what they could work on until it was close to midday when everyone left to head home, which left Naruto alone with his parents having stuff to do to prepare for their training. He decided he should go visit the Phoenix family now while he has some time to do now, so a magic circle appeared under him, and he disappeared, heading straight for the underworld to visit some friends. Phoenix Estate. Naruto appeared outside of what looked like a castle. It was a massive building that held one of the 34 remaining pillars, the Phoenixes. He walked up to the gates where he saw 2 guards that were talking when they saw him approach and got in a stance. Halt! Who are you? Guard 1 asked. Why is it that every family I've visited has the same guards from 3 years ago? It's like everyone has their eternal guards. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I was hoping to speak with Lord and Lady Phoenix. Naruto introduced with politeness, knowing they wouldn't allow him in if he wasn't. The guards got wide-eyed at this. They knew that name and indeed recognized him from 3 years ago. He would visit often and spend time with the Phoenix family and Riser's peerage. He was liked by everyone with his kind and happy attitude, as he always was making people smile, and yet he was strong, but didn't boast his strength like others would. He was humble and would always work to get stronger so he could protect others that he found important to him. It's good to see you again, Naruto-sama. We hope you enjoy your visit here. Guard 2 said with a shocked expression. Thanks, guys. I told you not to add Sama in my name, right? Naruto asked with his eye twitching. But Naruto-sama, it would be impolite to do that. Guard 1 smirked, seeing him get a mock depressed look. So mean to me. He faked hurt, holding his hand over his heart. I'll see you guys later. The blue-eyed teen walked past them, waving at them. Things are sure going to be getting more interesting with him back here, that's for sure. Guard 1 said. I agree. I missed his pranks though, as it made this place much livelier. Guard 2 said with mirth and excitement. Ah, good times. They were hilarious, that's for sure, and even made a lot of the nobles get amused by the whole thing. Naruto approached the front door, knocked on the door, and didn't have to wait long when one of the maids answered it. Hello? May I know who you are, as Lord and Lady Phoenix aren't expecting any visitors? She asked politely while blushing at how handsome Naruto looked. Hi. I'm Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze. I'm here to visit them as I haven't seen them in 3 years. He introduced. Her eyes widened like the guards recognizing the young man in front of her. Oh, Mr. Namikaze. It's a pleasure to see you again. Do come in and I can let them know that they have a visitor. She said with a grin. Thank you. I'd appreciate it if it would be a surprise for them. After all, it would be entertaining to see their reactions. Although I wouldn't be surprised if they knew already, with Ravel-chan telling them since she saw me already. He mused. Of course. Follow me, they're in their office. She replied with a bow. It's been a long time since I was here. Things haven't changed at all, but I'm looking forward to seeing them again, Naruto said as they walked through hallway leading to the office door where she knocked. Come in. A voice said. The door opened to reveal the maid that escorted Naruto, with him following behind her, and he could see Lord Phoenix, Lady Phoenix, and Ravel Phoenix. Forgive me for interrupting, but you have a visitor here, she said with a bow. Show them in, please. Lord Phoenix said with a smile. She moved out of the way to let Naruto walk in, and everyone smiled at him, especially Ravel, blushing at how handsome he's gotten. She thought he was good looking already, but now he's something else. Yo. It's good to see everyone again, he casually greeted. Lord and Lady Phoenix shook their hands in his antics, but smiled seeing him again, with Ravel blushing and struggling to say anything to her, being nervous. Welcome back, Naruto-san. We heard from Ravel that you were back during his confrontation with Rias, and she told us about the challenge. To be honest, I'm looking forward to it, and I hope that he learns something from it. Lord Phoenix said honestly. Wait, you're expecting your son to lose despite it being 16 versus 1? The blonde teen asked, shocked hearing this. Of course, you were at least as strong as him if not a little stronger 3 years ago, and now I can only assume you've gotten stronger in your time away. So I'm expecting it, and a good show as well. The clan head said with a smile. Layla Phoenix walked up to him, and pulled him into a hug as if he was her son. She had grown to care for him during his time here, and would have loved to have had him as a son. When Riser and Ravel told them about the challenge, they were surprised that it was Naruto since they didn't expect him back already, or at all for that matter, but they weren't upset about it. They never said it out loud, but they're looking forward to seeing their son show Riser some humility, and that there's much more he can learn. It's great to see you again, Naruto-kun. You were missed, but not only by us, but dear Ravel here missed you a lot. Isn't that right, daughter? Layla teased with her blushing at being called out. Mother! Don't say such things like that. Ravel rebutted, trying to calm her blush down. Oh, don't deny it, sweetheart. We all know you have a thing for the boy and I approve of your choice. Layla teased with a smirk, seeing her blush at atomic levels with Naruto blushing a little. I don't know what you're talking about, Ravel said, turning towards Naruto. And you're coming with me, she said, grabbing his hand, dragging him out with her parents laughing at the scene. Those two look great together, dear. What do you think? Layla asked her husband. I think after the rating game, we should talk to him about having Ravel go to the human world. She has been wanting to do that for some time after all, her husband said with a smile. I think that's a wonderful idea. We'll talk to her more about it when Naruto-kun leaves, she said with him nodding in agreement. Ravel was dragging Naruto away from her embarrassing parents after what her mother just did. It was so awful having her say those things to her crush. Who wouldn't like him though? He's kind, smart, a gentleman, caring, strong, and willing to help anyone he can. He's perfect in her opinion. Ravel-chan, where are we going? Naruto asked as he's been directed to who knows where. My Nai-sama is gone at the moment, and won't be back for quite a while, so we're going to be seeing the peerage. After all, they want to see you too, Ravel said, smiling at him, remembering the interactions they had with him 3 years ago. Great. I'm excited to see them again. Did Riser tell you anything about what occurred in the meeting? He asked curiously. He did. He bet his peerage that if he loses then we go to you, but I hope he loses because I know the girls will be treated better under you than him, Ravel said with hope in her voice. I'll do my best to make sure I win. I have a few surprises for him in store that will not only shake him, but others as well. I want you and the others to be happy, and I'll do everything I can to ensure that you're all away from him, Naruto promised with a warm smile, making her smile back in gratitude for his wanting them to be happy. Come on then. We're almost there. Last time I checked they were all in the living room, she said, pulling him even more, making him chuckle at her excitement. They walked for a few minutes through the mansion until they came across what looked like the living room, and there were his old friends that he hadn't seen in 3 years. 3 years and not a lot had changed for most of them, but they all still looked amazing. The first person was a voluptuous woman with long, wavy pupil hair that falls all the way down her back and matching eyes. At the front, the right side of her hair falls over her breast and covers her right eye, while the left side falls near the top of her skirt. Her attire is a dress consisting of a navy blue tunic with gold accents, and a plaid blue skirt with open sides, black shoes and over-matching thigh-high stockings with garter belts. The top revealed much of her cleavage, and is held with a gold choker with blue and red jewels. Over this, she wore a white overcoat with black and gold accents, and matching pauldrons. Finally, she's wearing a black headband with a red-orange jewel over her forehead to keep her long hair in place, and had a staff-like scepter. She has purple lipstick that matched her beautiful eyes. This was Yubeluna Riser's queen and great friend. The next person had shoulder-length black and blue-green eyes. Her hair was in 2 Chinese-style buns on both sides of her wide, while the front featured bangs that form a slight V-shape across her forehead. She wore a navy blue tsupao with gold accents, a white sash around her stomach, and black, low-heeled shoes. The kapao showed off her chest area, giving view to her breasts and cleavage. She had black arm guards over her forearms. This was Xiaolan, one of Riser's rooks and one of his best friends. The next were 2 people sitting on one of the couches, with one of them being a young woman with light brown hair and green eyes. She was wearing a full set of silver armor with black accents that appeared to be a cross between a European knight and a Japanese samurai. She was wearing a headband that went across her hair and forehead. This was Carloman, one of Riser's knights and fellow swordsmen. The other person sitting next to her was a tall young woman with long black hair with a dark blue tint and brown eyes. Her hair had 5 thin ponytails going around her head, which was held up by a golden hair accessory on the top of her head. She was wearing a white top with black accents that is modeled after a Chinese cheongsam, red shorts, and armored, knee-high boots with matching gauntlets. The top of the features had a diamond shape on the chest area, giving him a view of her breasts and cleavage. This was Cirrus, Riser's other knight. The next 4 people appeared to be 2 sets of twins with how similar they looked. One set had blue and red hair with cat ears and tails. Their hair was different, with one being in a ponytail, and the other has hers in a braid. They were wearing short, skimpy, white sailor uniforms to reveal their stomachs, shoulders, and lower breasts, and wear short black skirts. These were Lee and Ni2 of Riser's pawns. The other twins were the youngest of the group with turquoise hair, which they kept tied to one side of their head with a yellow ribbon, and blue eyes. They were wearing gym uniforms which were white t-shirts with blue accents, black leggings, and blue sneakers over knee-high socks. These were Lee and Nell, two of Riser's pawns. Girls, we have a visitor. One that we haven't seen in some time. Ravel said, getting their attention. Yo. What's up? Naruto asked with a grin before he was tackled by four blurs. Naruto and Ai-sama. They exclaimed at the same time. Hey girls. I'm glad to see you again. Lee and Ni, you've gotten taller. Lee and Nell, you're still the same midgets I remember. He snickered before he yelped in pain with them kicking your shins and pouting. Not nice, and Ai-sama. It's not our fault we're short. Nell pouted in mock hurt. Oh, I can't tease my Yamato? It's to show how much I love you guys. Shuelon, they're being mean to their Nai-san. He whined as Ravel pulled his cheek. Stop acting like a child, Naruto-sama. Ravel said sternly. I'll handle him, Ravel-sama. Shuelon said, looking at Naruto when she pinched his cheek, giggling seeing him fake struggle. It's good to see you again, Naruto-kun. Still the same knucklehead, I see. She smiled as she hugged him, with him returning it with his own. I'm glad to be back. I miss you guys, you know. Naruto said. Come on, come sit on the couch so we can talk and catch up. It's been too long and I don't want to miss this chance. Besides, Yubelina has missed you the most. Isn't that right? Shuelon teased, seeing Yubelina blush a little, but glared at her. Shut up, Shuelon. Yubelina said, causing them to giggle and Naruto to laugh at the situation. You were missed by us, Naruto-kun. Welcome back. She said, smiling at him. It's great to see you all again. Where is everyone else at, though? He asked, only seeing about half of the peerage. They're busy at the moment, but we can tell them you said hi when we see them next time. Aside from seeing us and Lord and Lady Phoenix, what brings you here? Yubelina asked in curiosity. I just wanted to catch up with everyone again. That and to talk to you guys about the raiding game that'll be happening between me and Riser. I'm sure he told you guys about it, right? Naruto asked. They all nodded, being told with how easy this'll be for them and how he'll get Rias in the end. He always was very egotistical. I can't wait to take him down a notch or two. That and you'll be free from him along with Rias. All of you deserve to be treated better, and I'll do everything I can to make sure that you have better lives and a better master. That's a promise, he said with determination, making all of them smile, knowing how important his promises are. I think I can speak for all of us here when I say bring him down for everyone, as he's been nothing but a spoiled and sexist pig that think he's everything because of his clan. Shuelon said, with everyone agreeing. I'll do my best, and I have some surprises for him that I think you'll like how it goes. I don't want you guys holding back against me either, knowing that Riser would know something is up. Not only that, but the match will most likely be watched by a lot of people and wouldn't want anyone thinking something was up if you all held back. Naruto explained. Oh, trust me. I wasn't planning on it. You were always a challenge when we'd spar, and I'm looking forward to seeing how much you've improved. Shuelon said, smirking, challenging him with others of the same mind. That's true. I'd like to see Kiribocho, as I was always fascinated with that sword. Carolmine said with a smirk of her own at the chance of clashing blades with him again. It has been a long time since we last sparred, and I'd like to do that, but I also want to save everything for the match. You'll get your chance, Carla-chan, Naruto said with a smirk, one that she matched in excitement. What about you four? What have you been up to the last 3 years? He asked, looking at the twins. We've been fine, I guess, and Ai-sama. We just want to get out of his peerage and go to yours. I know you treat us much better than him. And I said, with all of them agreeing. Don't worry about it. I've gotten much stronger in the 3 years and know I can easily handle him. Naruto said, hugging the girls before he notices a magic circle appearing. Looks like the team is coming back, so I'll be taking my leave. I'll see you guys in 10 days, and I look forward to seeing your progress, he said with excitement as he leaves in a magic circle of his own. Next day, it was early in the morning where we find Minato, Kushina, Fu Yujuto, Rias, Akeno, Kiba, Kaneko, Issei, and Asia in the backyard of Minato and Kushina's house, with Minato and Naruto across from each other. Kushina wanted to see what her son can do, so he asked if the two spar each other to see where Naruto is at skill-wise. Alright, so we'll be going over the 3 lessons, son. I hope you're ready, because I don't plan on going easy on you at all, Minato said with a small smile, trying to keep his excitement down, as he's always wanted to spar and train his son along with Kushina of the same mind. Anyone else nervous about how this will go? Issei asked. I guess I am. It'll be interesting to see how it goes, though, Rias said, shrugging it off. Good luck, Whiskers, Akeno said with a smile. Naruto nodded at her and looked back at his dad when they heard Kushina say, begin with either moving, until Minato decided to start the first lesson. Lesson 1 is Taijutsu, hand-to-hand combat, Minato said. They charged at each other, with Minato going for a thrust to his abdomen when Naruto stepped to the side to avoid it. But he just smirked at his son as he stopped his attack, as it was a feint before he did a roundhouse kick to his stomach, sending him skidding back. Naruto catches his breath as he looks up to see his dad smirking at him, having gotten one over him. Naruto rushes him again as they continue their battle and trade blows. They're moving so fast only Kushina can really keep up with them, as everyone else is struggling to see what's going on. This goes on for a few minutes until Naruto elbows him in the face, sending him crashing to the ground, creating a small crater. When everything settled down, they could see bruises and scrapes on both of them from the intense fight, and it astonished everyone except for Kushina, who was proud of her son, that he could keep up with Minato, who's a knight for Surzekas. That was pretty good, son. You've surprised me with how fast you've gotten along with how strong those shots were. Now on for lesson 2 Genjutsu. Minato said before going through a few hand signs as he said, Bringer of Darkness, surprising him that his father knows that technique. But before it can take effect, Naruto is able to cancel it by flaring his chakra along with Kurama, and the others helping dispelling it too. Almost had me there too, San. I'm not the best with using Genjutsu due to my massive reserves. The only Genjutsus I know are the ones involving the Sharingan. We'll have to skip to lesson 2 for now. Naruto explained, getting a slow nod from his dad. Lastly, lesson 3 Ninjutsu. Minato said. Naruto smirks as he goes through hand signs only his parents can see as he's doing them too fast for anyone else, as it looks like a blur before he shouts. Wind style, great breakthrough. A gust of wind escapes his mouth heading to his father, who flashes to one of his kunai to avoid the blast. Not bad, son, not bad at all. Minato praised before going through hand signs. Wind style, air bullet. Multiple bullets of air are shot out going at fast speeds, but doesn't surprise Naruto knowing who he's dealing with. Earth style, earth wall. A wall comes out of the ground and intercepts the wind bullets, stopping them from hitting their targets. Is that the best you got too, San? Naruto smirked. Oh ho. Don't go getting cocky, son. It'll be your end. Minato said wisely before going through hand signs fast. Wind style, vacuum sphere. Minato stated. Several small blasts of wind chakra that scatters in different directions. Naruto used his sword to deflect some of the blasts, but couldn't block them all, so he went through 2 hand signs as he got covered in lightning surrounding his entire body. Much like the 4th Reikage that was able to give him the chance to finish redirecting the rest of the blasts with the extra speed. That was impressive, son. Didn't expect you to be able to recreate A's lightning armor. Did he tell you that we were rivals? Minato asked. He mentioned it to me at one point during the war. He gave me permission to recreate it for myself, and had trained under him in my lightning affinity, Naruto stated with a smile, thinking back to the time he studied under him. Alright, Tusan. Why don't we give it one last technique, mine versus yours? I've always wanted to compare them to see who would win. Naruto said, creating a Rasengan in his hand. Let's find out, shall we? Minato asked, creating his own Rasengan as well. They sprint at full speed as they clash their attacks together. Rasengan/Rasengan. They clash and create an explosion that pushes Rias and her peerage back a little, while Kushina, Fu, and Yujito aren't affected. When the dust settles, they're a crater with both of them lying on the ground, with Minato breathing heavily while Naruto is breathing slightly heavily. Damn, Tusan. I haven't had fun like that in months. Your speed is no joke either, and that's without the Haration. Naruto said, chuckling with his dad. That was good. Yours was as good as mine was. Tell me though, have you been able to complete it? Minato asked. I have actually. I've added 3 elements to it, with them being wind, fire, and lightning. Wind was the first one I did. Naruto said with a smile. I knew you could do it. Looks like I got some work to do. Can't let my son get that far ahead of me now, can I? Minato said as they both laughed. Kushina, Fu, and Yujito walked up to them while everyone else was too shocked to move on the spar they just witnessed. That was pretty good, Naruto-chan. Your hand-to-hand is almost as good as Minato-kun's, and your ninjutsu is off the charts. Great job, both of you. We'll work on your taijutsu a bit, but mainly focus on your chains. Kushina said, getting a nod from Naruto. That was great, honey. You gave him quite the workout. Yujito said with a smile. You were amazing, Naruto-kun. Fu said as she kissed him. Thanks, you too. I can't wait to start training again. Rias and the others got out of their stupor and met up with the others. That was quite the show, Naruto-kun. I wasn't expecting you to be as fast as you were to keep up with Minato-sensei. He's considered the fastest knight in the underworld, Kiba said, impressed with his friend's skill and speed. Era. You look so beaten up. Let me take care of you and you will be okay in no time, Akeno said seductively, latching onto his arm, pushing it between her breasts with a cute smile. He blushed a little at the action from her, but smiled and kissed her cheek. I'll be in your care, my dear Akeno-chan, he whispered huskily into her ear, making her legs shake a bit as she was getting turned on from the action, as not many are able to flirt with her back like that. Please take care of me then, she said, nibbling at his ear as she bites her lower lip to look even more sexier. They hear a cough getting their attention, seeing it was from Kushina, who was smirking in amusement along with Issei crying anime tears at losing someone like her, Rias, and Kaneko to him. Rias was shaking her head, Kaneko was glaring at her while comparing her chest to Akeno's. Asia was blushing and covering her eyes. Kiba was looking away from the scene and Minato was smiling at the duo's actions. Fu and Yujito were smirking, liking how seductive Akeno was and liked how forward she was. Well, we can get started. Also during this time, Yujito will help Akeno with her lightning while I train Sochi for the time being. I'll also train Kiba with his swordsmanship. Minato will help train Issei. Fu will train Kaneko in speed until Sochi takes over after he's done training with me. Asia will train with Rias in magic along with her own training. Kushina stated. Sounds like a plan, Kushina-sensei. Rias said as everyone split apart. 10 days later. It's now time for the rating game against Riser Phoenix, and he had done quite a bit of training to master his chakra chains, but also improve in his elemental affinities. Rias's peerage had improved as well with how much training that they had gone through. Rias had been able to improve her use of the power of destruction to make it more versatile rather than just shooting big attacks. Akeno improved in her elemental affinities, especially her lightning. She was taught how to use the Raikage's lightning armor, and how much stamina it used to be able to use it, so they worked on her stamina as well. Kiba polished his skills with the blade with Kushina, and had him train in other ways so he wasn't as predictable with his night piece. Naruto had been training Kaneko in the basics of using senjutsu, as being able to balance the energy, and how to collect it without giving in to the malice. She had been able to feel less anxious about it, but was still worried about losing control like her sister had. Asia learned more spells to help protect herself since she was the healer of the group and would need ways to better protect herself. She was trained in speed to have an advantage in getting out of situations should she need to. Lastly, there was Issei. He needed the biggest help with how little magic he had with him. He trained in every aspect starting with speed and stamina so he could use his sacred gear longer than before. He was also taught some basic taijutsu forms so he would have something instead of relying on his sacred gear. It's a slow process for him, but he's improving the most. Naruto was now waiting in the clubroom with everyone for Grafia to show up so she could teleport him to the arena since they could watch the game from the clubroom. I wonder when Grafia-chan will show up. Naruto whined, getting an elbow in the sides from Rias. Be patient, Naruto-kun, and she'll be here. Also, you should show her more respect with her knowing how serious she is. She might freeze what makes you a man and break it, Rias said with a smirk, seeing his reaction. He paled and was thinking that maybe he should be more careful about it. But he's never been one to care about respect being shown, as he only gives it to those who earn it. I can't help it though. You know how I am, and besides, she's more of a friend than anything else to me. She's more than a maid to your brother or the strongest queen. She's Grafia Lucifuge, and nothing will change that. Naruto stated with a smile. Unknown to them, Grafia had appeared already without them knowing and heard everything he said about her. She couldn't help but smile and blush, knowing how he felt about her, not caring what her status was and that he saw her as herself and not the strongest queen in the underworld, or a maid to Surzekas. It made her heart flutter that much more, knowing how important she was to him. It didn't take long for her to show up and teleport him to the arena for the game where it would take place. Naruto didn't have to wait long for the announcer to start the match. He took off, hoping to catch them off guard with his speed. Lee, Nell, Lee and I go take care of him. Riser ordered with arrogance in his voice. Yes, master. They said in unison, despite not wanting to fight their brother. It didn't take long for them to find him with frowns on their faces, not wanting to do this. Naruto saw this and smiled at them. It's alright, girls. It's not your fault. If anything, blame the team for this, but don't go easy on me. I'm not the same from 3 years ago. I've gotten much stronger since then, he said with a grin, making them nod as they shot forward. Lel and Nell were both close-quarter combatants and worked together to hit him, but he was moving too fast for them to hit. Nell went in with a kick, but all she hit was air, but didn't react in time when Naruto reappeared behind her and kicked her on the side, sending him crashing. Naruto disappeared again and appeared by Lel and knocked her out with a neck chop when she was distracted. Lee and Ni rushed him with their flame chainsaws when Naruto pulled out his Kubikura Bocho, blocking the strikes with a grin. That's not all you two got, is it? Naruto teased, making them smile wider in excitement. That's how things always were with them. Naruto would push them further to be better when they were together. Naruto pushed them off and charged at them, swinging his blade down, crashing down into the ground, slicing it like it was butter, making them blow back a bit from the power from the swing itself. He let go of it, and went through hand signs so fast no one except seasoned warriors could somewhat keep up. Water style. Great water mass bullet. Naruto shot 3 balls of water at the two, hitting them, causing an explosion. 4 of Riser's pawns have retired, Grafia announced. Spectators, he's gotten a lot better. He hadn't used elemental manipulation to this level last time we saw him spar. Then Alana commented with a smile. Indeed. His skill with water is impressive. He must have worked hard to master it to this extent. The Citries would be impressed with this display. Zeoticus replied with a smirk. I'm rather curious about what else he's capable of. He said he could use all of the basic elements, so we'll have to wait and see. From what Rias told us, he can use lightning, fire, lava, which was a combination of 2 elements, and now water. Then Alana said, intrigued with her surrogate son's abilities. Satan's Narutan is amazing. His water manipulation is on par with some of the best water users in the underworld. Seraphal cheered. Taking out for pawns that quickly is impressive for sure. He's doing well so far. Let's see what else he can do. What do you think, Ajuka? Surzekas asked while ignoring Seraphal's excitement for her love interest. He's impressive. I only met him a couple of times, but he's got a good head on his shoulders. Ajuka stated calmly yet intrigued. I know. From what he told us when he met with us, many things have happened with him compared to 3 years ago. He mentioned a dojutsu he has that give him a lot of power, and I don't know if we'll see any of its abilities, but I'm hoping we can see a sample of it, Surzekas said, getting a questionable look from him. What dojutsu is it? Ajuka asked. He called it the Rinne-Sharingan. His eyes changed from their cerulean blue eyes to purple with rings and tomos on them. He gave us a brief summary, but I'm sure he didn't tell us everything about them given he wasn't able to stay too long. Xerxes explained. I hope we can get a display then at his power. Ajuka said as they both looked back at the arena. Arena, everyone aside from Yubuluna, get rid of that filth. Riser ordered angrily seeing his first 4 pawns defeated so easily. Of course Riser-sama. They said as they left to take care of the blonde despite not wanting to. They ran after him knowing he wouldn't be far from them. How do you girls feel about this? Ravel asked. I'm not looking forward to the encounter if that's what you mean. I can tell he's gotten much stronger, and we've only scraped the barrel of his power. I can't help but feel excited though. I haven't clashed blades with him in over 3 years. Carloman said, grinning in excitement to fight him again. We pretty much have no way of winning, but I want to test myself against him. Xiaolan said with a smirk. They kept their pace for a few more minutes until they reached where he was at, and couldn't help but be nervous and somewhat excited to fight him. Hello ladies? What do you say we get this dance started any? Naruto asked, smirking in anticipation. We couldn't agree more. Before we get started I'd like to formally challenge you Naruto-kun to a match of swords. Carloman asked. I have no problem with that. I won't be using this. Naruto said, referring to the Kubikura Bocho as he sealed it away. I have another blade in mind that would suit this better, he cryptically said as he released the seal that was on his arm and a puff of smoke appeared. When the smoke died down, they saw a much smaller sword that had been brought out. This is a legendary blade known as Kusanagi that was once used by my best friend Sasuke Uchiha. I'm ready when you are, Carla-chan. Let's dance, he shouted as they clashed blades trying to overpower the other. They jumped back to get some space when she swung her sword down to cut him in half when he parried her attack to the side as he used his other hand punch her in the stomach. She avoided it by rolling to the side, not wanting her to recover. He rushed her as he went in for heel kick into her, which connected with her screaming in pain as an explosion occurred. When the smoke cleared it showed Carloman on the ground trying to get up but failing for a few moments. She managed to get up and smirked at him. Still as strong as ever, Naruto-kun. Actually I'd say you've gotten even stronger than last time we sparred. Carloman complimented. I've been busy since I left. A lot has happened since then and have learned a lot in that time. Naruto replied with his own smirk. They rushed again and continued their clash of blades for a few minutes when he sent a feint with his sword as she reacted, but was too late to react to his foot connecting with her side, sending her crashing. That was good, Carla-chan. You've improved a lot and I am very proud of you, Naruto said with a smile as she disappeared. One of Riser's knights has retired, Grafia announced. Naruto looked at everyone else that was there waiting for him. Now what do you say we get this party going? Naruto asked as he resealed Kusanagi away. Xiaolan and Isabella, being the rooks, went in for close combat using their rook strength to their advantage as they were combining their attacks on him. He was dodging their strikes or parrying with her own hands to avoid the worst strikes. Naruto grabbed their fists, pushing them back as he ran at Isabella as he went on the offensive. No one could even keep up with his speed as he threw multiple punches and kicks at her face and stomach as she was finished off with a sweep to the legs, making her trip as he punched her one more time to the face as she flew into the wall, knocking her unconscious. Naruto doesn't waste any time as he sprints towards Xiaolan, who takes a defensive stance, but wasn't ready for what he did. Water style, water whip. Naruto stated as a water whip materialized out of nowhere, and used it to constrict Xiaolan and channeled lightning chakra into it, causing her to scream in pain until she passed out as she disappeared, but not before she heard him say, I'm sorry, Xiaolan-chan. I hope you can forgive me for that. He apologized with a sad smile. 2 of Riser's rooks have been retired, Grafia announced. Naruto didn't have time to think about it more as a fireball was sent towards him as he dodged it, and saw it was Ravel who sent it towards him. I'm sorry, Naruto-kun, but this needs to end now, Ravel said with a sad look on her face as she sent another one towards him, with the other pawns charged him while he was distracted by the fireball, but were surprised by what he did. Water style, hydrosphere. Naruto shouted, creating a sphere of water as the fireball came at him. He used the sphere to catch the ball until it stopped pushing him. This surprised everyone as it's well known how hot phoenix flames are, and to simply catch it is quite something. Spectators, well, that's certainly something you don't see every day when you see someone catch one of their fireballs. Then Alana said, that's true. I knew Naruto had improved, but to do something like this is impressive. He's done well so far against Riser's peerage. Layla said, he used the technique to catch it instead of using his bare hand, which is quite ingenious to do. It's not often something like this can happen, Lord Phoenix commented, impressed with the technique. Satan's spectators, go Narutan. Kick ass. Seraphal cheered for her love interest. So far he's only used water against them all. From what Minato said, he has great control over wind as well. I wonder what else we'll see in this match. Suzuka said, he's definitely improved. He was high-class level when he was here last time. Now I'm not even sure where we put him at. We'll have to keep studying him and see what else he can do. Ajuka speculated with interest. ORC clubroom. No one could believe how well he was doing except for Yujito, Fu, Minato, and Kushina, with 2 of them knowing what he's capable of and his parents only having seen him in action once. But he was impressive already. Holy crap! He's strong! Issei shouted. That's my Sochi! Kick-ass Naruto-chan! Kushina shouted enthusiastically. Era. Is it possible he can wrap me around with that water whip? I'd love to see him make me submit to him, Akeno said, licking her lips, making others scoot away from her. He has great control over his water affinity, much like Naidame-sama. Same goes for his wind when we sparred. I wonder how great control he has over the other elements. Minato questioned curiously. We'll have to wait and see how it goes. So far he's doing well. Ria said, happy at how well her boyfriend is doing. Please be safe, Naruto-kun, she thought to herself. Back to the arena. Now Naruto finds himself surrounded by Marion, Burent, Ravel, Shirley, Mira, Cirrus, and Maihi. He was outnumbered, but it was fine. He had just the thing to even it out. He doesn't want to hurt them too badly as it is. Naruto goes through one hand sign before whispering, water style, hidden mist jutsu. He blew out a mist from his mouth that surrounded the area, blocking the sight of everyone as Naruto disappeared into the mist. What's going on? Where is he? Cirrus asked, worried of not being able to see. I can't see anything. Can you guys see anything? Ravel asked, not liking the situation that they're in. I got nothing. Marion said. Keep your ears open, Everio, Marion started to say, but was cut off to her being hit. All anyone could hear was some kunai being thrown around, and the next thing that everyone knew, people were screaming in pain until there was nothing left. Naruto lifted the mist, revealing to be him, and Ravel left. Riser's 4 pawns have retired. Riser's knight has been retired. Riser's bishop has been retired. Grafia announced. Naruto walked towards Ravel with a small smile, as she wasn't sure what to do, knowing she's not a match for him. When he got close enough, he stopped a foot away from her, as he stared at her with her trembling a little. She was surprised when he pulled her into a hug with an eep, not expecting the hug from her crush. Please retire, Ravel. I don't want to hurt you or anyone else. I didn't like hurting you or the others. Do this for me. Naruto said softly, almost pleading. She thought about it, wondering what she should do, but knew she didn't stand a chance against him. She blushed at his words of not wanting to hurt her or the others, but knew they wouldn't stand down. Okay, Naruto-kun. I don't want to fight you anymore, she said quietly to him. I retire, she shouted as she disappeared in a light. Riser's bishop has been retired, Grafia announced. Those pathetic women. Should have known I'd have to go do this myself. Come, Yubelina. We'll do this ourselves. Riser ordered, angry at him losing. Yes, Riser-sama. Fool. You don't stand a chance against Naruto-kun. Yubelina smirked to herself. Well, now it's just down to us 3. What do you say we finish this Riser team? Naruto asked. Of course, trash. Let's finish this indeed, then I can get what I wanted. Yubelina, go. Riser shouted, angry. She looks at him, then at Naruto, and sees him shaking his head at her to not attack him. She smiles at him, caring about her safety. No, Riser-sama. I won't be doing this. I retire, Yubelina said, disappearing. Riser's queen has been retired, Grafia announced. How dare she ignore me like that? When we're done here, they're all dead. Riser shouted, gritting his teeth. Come on, Riser team, don't be such a baby. You're embarrassing yourself already as it is. Naruto taunted. How dare you speak to Riser that way? Die, you trash. Riser shouted, throwing a fireball at him. Naruto jumps back to avoid it as he sees another one being shot at him. Naruto goes through his some hand signs. Scorch release, incinerating flare technique. Several balls of sun appear, then merge into one giant ball in his dominant hand, increasing in heat even more than before as he throws it at the fireball and collides with it, and explodes. The smoke disappears to show that Naruto is smirking, seeing how he could match and even overpower him with fire and wind. No, I refuse to admit that this trash here matches me, Riser Phoenix. No one can match me. Riser shouts in frustration, but calms himself down and smirks. It doesn't matter though, no matter what you do to me, I'll always be able to regenerate from the damage. That's what makes me superior to everyone. You'll run out of energy, and then I'll claim my prize. Not only Rias, but I'll also get the black-haired bitch and the white-haired bitch for myself to enjoy. Maybe I'll go after Sona as well. They'll all be mine. Riser yelled like a man. ORC clubroom. Well, he's a dead man now. Yujuto said, smirking at what will happen now. What do you mean? Sona asked, gritting her teeth at what Riser said about her and the others. No one says anything like that about his precious people, especially his girlfriends. The last time someone tried to take me and fool for themselves, the group didn't make it out in one piece. Naruto-kun tore them apart, making sure they knew that no one talks to his girls that way. Yujuto grinned. All the girls blushed and smiled, hearing how he'd do anything to keep them safe from harm. Minato and Kushina were grinning from ear to ear, hearing that their son would do anything for them. I'm so proud of my son. After this, I want some grandkids to spoil. You all hear me? She yelled that last part to get their attention. Rias, Akeno, Sona, and Kaneko all blushed as the others grinned at their friend protecting them. Issei was crying anime tears while mumbling, stupid pretty boys getting all the girls. Back to arena. Don't you understand what you're doing? This is between our 2 houses. This is so pure blood, devils don't die out. Riser shouted. I know what I'm doing exactly. I know for a fact that you don't give a damn about the 2 pillars that you're talking about. You're only doing this just so that Rias is added to your collection of trophies when she's so much more than that. They're much more than that. Rias is much more than the Gremory heiress of the Gremory clan. Sona will achieve her dreams. They all will, and I will do everything I can to make sure that they're happy. Don't you dare talk about them as if they're mere objects. Naruto growled. Naruto decided to use his first cloak. A red bubble surrounds his body as his eyes turn from their usual blue to red with slits, his hair gets wilder, his nails extend out, and lastly 9 tails appear swishing behind him. Prepare yourself, scum. No one talks about the ones I love as if they're mere objects, and that is something I will not stand for. Naruto said demonically. Riser didn't have a chance to do anything as Naruto disappeared and reappeared in front of him, punching him in the stomach, making him double over in pain as Naruto quickly kicks his chin, sending him into the air. Ice style, 10,000 ice petals. He shouts as a barrage of ice needles are sent at Riser, who doesn't have a chance to escape the attack as he's impaled by a number of them, all over his body. Satan's POV. Damn, Naruto is hot right now. That change in appearance making him look wild, and him being able to use ice like that makes me want to take him now. Seraphal said, liking what she is seeing, licking her lips, and rubbing her thighs together in anticipation and lust. Grafia wasn't much better, as she was feeling very horny about how caring and how strong he's gotten. Surzex and Ajuka sweat dropped at Seraphal and slowly scooted away from her. ORC clubroom. The girls were blushing at Naruto's words and his transformation, liking how feral he looked, and wondered if they could see it in person. Kuniko even let her ears and tail out, being too turned on to care at the moment. Akeno and Rias was blushing madly with a hand on their cheek and rubbing their thighs together excessively. Sona was not to the extent of Akeno and Rias, but was wanting to take him when he sees him next time. What is this transformation he's taken? Sona asked. That would be the first cloak of the Jinchuriki state that is given to us, granted by our Biju. There are usually 2 other forms, but Naruto-kun's is different. You'll have to ask him about them if you're curious about them. Fu answered. Interesting. What about the other transformations? Sona asked, wanting to learn more about them. You'll have to wait and see, but the second one is a bit painful when it's done being used, is what I'll say about it. Let's see what Naruto-kun will do now. Fu said. Back to Naruto. Riser was in pain. He couldn't believe that his regeneration wasn't doing its job. You listen here now, Riser team, you will end this match now. You've lost. Naruto said as he walks away, not wanting to look at this sorry excuse of a man. Riser grits his teeth in anger as he gets up and goes to attack him again, but stops when he sees some chains wrap around his neck, lifting him into the air. This is over. Your regeneration will run out eventually, and it's slowed already as it is. I could do so many things to make this extremely painful for you, Naruto said, not looking at him. I refuse. Riser will not be defeated by filth like you. Riser screamed as he kicked and tried to pry the chains off of him. Fine. You leave me with no choice, Naruto said as he activated his Rinne-Sharingan, looking directly into his eyes. Tsukuyomi. Riser appeared on a cross with everything looking different. The sky was red and Naruto appeared with a sword in hand. Welcome to the world of Tsukuyomi. In here I'm a god and I control everything that happens here. You're in my mercy, Naruto said as he stabs him. Ack. Riser screams in pain. This will continue for the next 72 hours. Will you surrender or let this feudal match go on? Naruto asked neutrally. Fuck you, human trash. Riser growled. Naruto didn't respond, but continued to stab him multiple times, which felt like forever. Do you yield? Naruto asked after stabbing him several times. And no, and never. Riser muttered, enough for him. Fine. You have 71 hours 59 minutes and 59 seconds to go, Naruto said as Riser's eyes widened in horror. I yield. Just stop this torture already. Riser shouted in pain and scared. Naruto ended the technique as they returned to the real world, where Naruto drops him and Riser was screaming, saying he surrenders, then disappears in a light. It's over now. You have your freedom now, Rias-chan. Naruto smiled to himself as he disappeared himself. Riser has retired from the match. The winner is Naruto Uzumaki Namikaze, Grafia announced to everyone. What if neglected Naruto Rinne-Sharingan Highschool DxD? And thanks for watching my video till the end. If you enjoy this content, then do consider subscribing to my channel, and leave a like if you guys need the next part. Comment down, and thanks for watching the video, and see you guys in the next video.